Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Vulnerable. Chris, make sure you document the time for me, make it easy. We have Rick Busse back for a part 2. The other one went so well.
It did?
It went great, Rick.
Oh, good.
It was awesome. Everybody loved it. It was.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I think other than our first one, it was our biggest viewership, and it's only been just a couple weeks since we posted it. So I think it was fantastic.
Good. I'm glad.
Did you get any feedback from it?
I received some. It was funny. I received some texts from people I haven't heard from
That's cool.
in a long time.
That's cool.
You know, hey, I saw you or heard you on the podcast, watched it. I go, man, it was good. I really enjoyed it, and your stories and on, and you know, it made me feel good. I was glad
Isn't
to
that
do
fun?
it. Yeah, it's just you know, I mean, so
It was
yeah.
so anytime that people are on the podcast and then we're done and we're just sitting around shooting the crap, it's then you start thinking about, man, we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about that. And, you know, and then it's like, I think we need to have Rick back to talk about some of that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean when it's hard to, if you listen to your own podcast later on, it's kind of like, oh man, do I sound like that?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is hard.
It's like, you know.
I try not to listen to them unless I absolutely
either.
have to when I'm editing them or whatever. But I don't want to hear myself
Because
talk.
I'll be flipping through social media and it'll be, I just scroll really quickly right through me.
Yeah.
I don't even listen.
Don't even give us the view.
Had a couple guys up in Findlay at a party over the weekend at my brother and sister-in-law's, and they were telling me, I don't know these guys from Adam, that they were watching the videos and they somehow saw them or whatever. And because Damon, my brother-in-law, had told them or whatever, and they were like, yeah, we see your videos and they pop up all the time. And, you know, so I think that's pretty, it just kind of, I mean, I hear it from a lot of people that I don't expect to hear it from. Like you showed up on my feed and stuff. I think that's cool.
I mean, hunting is not as big as what you think it is.
2.2 million hunters in the United States.
So if
Not that many.
and that's probably not all. That's probably
And unfortunately, I think it's shrinking.
I know. And how many of them are just white, or just this part of the United States and whitetail? It probably gets smaller and smaller. And and once somebody's looked at some whitetail views, we start popping up, Yeah.
Chris, could you actually look up and see how many hunters are in the United States? I mean, it could be all hunting, and then see if there's whitetail hunting. Because I said like 2.2 million. I feel like that number stuck with me for hunting or whitetail hunting. I can't remember.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I had a couple guys that say, hey, you know, why don't you, explore other hunting other than deer? You know, I said, well, I know quite a few people. My neighbor Jason is an expert waterfowler. You know, you could go there. I mean, people. That's a lot more popular than what
we just did trapping.
Yeah.
Last one was full blown trapping.
Oh, really?
It was actually Joel and I just talking, my favorite episode, just Joel and I. I mean, Chris and I, we were the first hour just listening to Joel talk about his techniques.
I mean, I was from about 14, 13 to 26 or so. I was 8. That's all I did was trap.
I loved it too. My brother and I.
You trapped a lot?
Oh my gosh, that's where the whole introduction to the outdoors, the conda bears and the leg holds and
same. I said that was my introduction to the outdoors.
We could not wait to get up before school. We had a little creek behind the house on a 5-acre. Yeah,
this is like the same
my
story.
Yeah,
Yes.
And then you go.
It was Christmas Day
on a frosty morning, and then you see a muskrat floating
in your box trap,
or on the box traps, or the conda bear. It's got frost on him. You know, we pulled up the box traps, and I don't know how many were in there, but
I told you
they
just shove in there until they can no more.
6 or 7,
and all their teeth are on the metal.
But way back in the 70s, you get $7-8 for a muskrat.
Yes.
We
were about the prices.
So we were going through the numbers, and today's numbers, like if you were to take in the like inflation stuff, Joel and Dave Hess, was that?
Yes,
Dave Hess. Yep. They were like doing a combination of like $80,000 in today's numbers, which was like $15,000 to $20,000 back then.
You know, if you could just get something for a raccoon, people would at least try to hunt them.
At least try to get them, or
if
whatever.
If you could get $5-10 for a raccoon. You know, I mean,
how much would that help with our turkeys and with our
just
everything? Get rid of some raccoons.
Just saw 2 turkeys pulling in the driveway.
Did you?
You did?
Yeah, I did.
In my driveway?
Just down the road a couple 100 feet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Just saw him. Just saw him.
What's the numbers on the hunters? You got something for me?
National Deer Association consistently cites 10 to 11 million deer hunters nationwide.
Really? That high? I didn't think it was going to be that high. And I think there's like
goodness.
a population of what? We're at 400 million people in the United States now, so 1%. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. That's less than that.
No, I think it's like 350, but whatever.
Like 2.5% of people are 2.5%, 3.5%, or 3% of people are white-tailed deer hunters. That makes sense. It's not as much as
That's pretty good. That's all right.
So 1 out or 3 out of 100 guys you talk to actually deer hunt. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
not
it's
very
not-
many
it's
if
not a
you
lot.
think of that.
No,
So.
no.
And there's even fewer waterfowlers. But there's a bunch of people that love
But
the
people
waterfowl.
are ate up with waterfowl.
That once they get into it, I mean, it's a whole
his
big thing,
family's
man.
big.
I'm
his
not.
dad,
I'm
a
not
big
into it.
waterfowl.
I'm not
Yeah.
into it at all.
I mean, I had several friends growing up that got me to try it and everything, and it just didn't float my boat. I'm sorry.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of damn work.
It's a lot of expense.
Yes,
I
and
mean,
a lot of expense.
big time expense. You got
Yeah.
to buy a boat if you're really into it. You get the boat, and then you got to go to the blind. It's a lot of work, but you know what? Everything's a lot of work. What the heck,
I
deer
I
hunting's
saw
a lot of
a-
work if you're.
a meme online where the guy was like, spend $5,000 a year on hunting gear, and then the second picture was him at Walmart looking at his shirt, and he's like, $8. That's pretty expensive, and he hung it back up.
getting up there.
Yeah, it's get pretty expensive. The bow, everything that gives the hunting gear $5,000, then the $8 shirt he's putting back. I thought that was a pretty good explanation.
I mean, hey, it's very equivalent to. I think I have 4 women in my house, and I think they hide all their
right.
shampoo, what they pay for all of their
Oh,
products
God.
and all
Yeah, I mean,
that. So it kind of
it's-
evens out if you want to know the truth.
I think my wife spends like $75 for a shampoo and a conditioner. That's I feel like that's what she pays every 2 months for shampoo and a conditioner.
And Corey,
$75.
Corey, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't.
is
I don't care. I don't. It doesn't bother me.
okay.
No,
it doesn't bother me at all.
It doesn't.
I just know that like I'm over
But
there.
this is what what works for them, and that's what they.
I'm
get,
using
and
the
that's fine.
17-in-1 Equate body wash. Toothbrush.
Or the Head and
clean my
Shoulders that
butt,
does it all.
clean my ass,
Yes,
scrub my,
yes.
everything. It just does. It's like my hair gel at the end too.
Yeah.
But we
So-
talked about the duck hunting thing. It seemed like it's more of a you're with a group and
That's
it's
right.
blind, and I like the solitude of sitting in a tree stand. I mean,
I do
don't
too,
know.
but you know what? Sometimes when you're in a duck blind with 3 or 4 other people, I mean, you can actually move. You don't have to worry about your scent. You can have a few laughs.
I mean, you're making bacon. You don't have to worry about
Yeah,
scent.
you're grilling burgers.
You're
Right,
grilling.
right. So in that sense, you don't have to be. It's camaraderie. And,
People will
it's a
come
good time.
here, and I mean, they have like poured basements and stuff on,
That's why
on the flyways.
That's
and
what I was gonna say. I've seen them where they go like in the cornfield and flip up a hatch, and they walk down into a living quarters, and then they flip up and hunt, or the guy's taking a nap, or in a kitchen, or whatever.
You better be in a damn good area
They,
for that.
they
like-
go to extremes.
Yes, they
I mean,
do.
they do. And that's just their thing, and that's fine. But yeah.
So I wanted to. Was there anything that did you listen to the full last episode?
I listened to probably to 80% of it, and a lot of the times I did. I don't want to hear me talk about that. Is that interesting enough to
Yeah.
even listen to? And
So-
I mean, I don't want to bore people at all.
I don't think it was boring, right?
It's different when you're listening to yourself and all those crazy stories.
Was there anything that you were like, man, I really wish we would have talked about or brought up? Was there any kind of subjects that come up? I mean,
When you talk 2 hours and you think you said a lot of things, and then you go, God, why did we say that?
We hardly even got in. Did we even really get into the Brian Stevens deer very much?
we
yeah.
Did
We talked about it.
Brian
Yeah.
Stevens deer?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
The one.
Well, the one statistic, and I listened to that part of it. I said, one statistic I forgot about that deer, and I'll tell it to you. This is just off the chart ridiculous. In the history of deer hunting, okay, and I used to study, legendary books that had the top 40 bucks, and this edition, top 40 bucks, and there's like 5 or 6 editions, and I used to study them all. It had the measurements, the score sheets, with the story of the buck.
Yep.
And I would go through them, and I got to thinking, Brian Stevens' buck, there have been maybe a half a dozen deer with antlers on their heads, with 3 tines on their head, on the antlers, 3 tines, 14 inches or longer. Half a dozen. All the deer ever killed. Think of that.
Yeah.
You know. However, there was only one deer with his antlers with 4 tines over 14. 4 tines over 14. Guess which one it was?
Brian Stevens buck.
That's an amazing
4 tines over 14 inches. Wow.
The following week, there was something on social media by some whitetail enthusiast person of the greatest bucks of all time. And I believe he had...
It was the Brian Stevens buck, and then I can't remember what the other buck was.
He had the Brian Stevens buck as the all-time...
As the all-time, like...
and again, it's not the highest scoring.
It was the
it was
pleasing, the most
just
pleasing.
That deer just looks like a white-tailed deer should look.
Because
step back 6 feet.
he mentioned both beams, the tines, yes, he mentioned it all.
That's an amazing statistic when you think, how is that possible? I mean, there's been a lot of deer killed since the beginning of time.
You know,
since the beginning of record keeping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do we have because we did some of your, Chris, can you pull up some of the magazine covers? I wanted to, do we have the Beatty Buck on one of the magazine covers?
Yes.
2 of them.
Yeah. Chris,
I had 2 Beatty Bucks on whitetail covers, yeah.
Should be popping up.
Should be popping up.
Give it a second. There we go.
There's Mike
Right
on
there.
Right there.
Right there left.
That's
Right there. I don't think we talked anything about that
We
buck.
didn't?
I don't think we did we?
We mentioned it.
We
and
mentioned it, but we
everything,
didn't go into detail.
That was the day. That was in 2000, late 2000. He shot that November. We're coming up this November. It's how long? How long ago was the Beatty Buck?
I
Joel,
think it
you
was
should know.
2003,
How long? How many years has that been?
22. Is that
20
right, Chris?
2000.
That I mean,
He killed that deer November the 8th in 2000. So we're coming up on the 25th anniversary on that. That's
Yeah.
just mind-boggling to me, you know? My kids were just little. Your kids were just little. Were they even all born?
No, they weren't even all. Yes,
All
they
th-
were
just-
all.
Yeah.
Elena
Claire-
is going to be 21. Or Elena's going to be 21 in October.
Well, she wasn't born yet.
So she wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I think 2 of the 3.
Claire
of the
was
3.
just, my youngest Claire, she was just 2. Taylor was 6. She met I got a picture with,
But I mean, I don't know if we mentioned that I was in his basement and it was down there.
you were in the new shop then. I had the new shop then.
You were in Rick's basement, and the Beatty Buck was down there.
Yeah,
It was in the next room.
It was in the next room.
So
And I couldn't let it. It was such a huge story back then. I mean, it's like whitetail world gets set on its head because that's a record everybody waits for, a new world's record in a specific category, Pope and Young especially.
yeah,
Bow and arrow, Pope
Yeah.
and Young. So it's the
So
new.
how big was social? Like, did people know
just
then?
coming on.
Huh?
Just coming on, and then I remember because someone says, "Hey, Ray," this is fun. We just got a computer, We just got the big screen that the monitor weighed 400 pounds.
Yes.
And you could, and we got this thing called email. You
Yep.
laugh, but that's what it was, right? You got, what's this email? I got an email.
You date
Cool.
you
That's pretty
date
cool,
people
man.
by their. I'm Yahoo. I'm Yahoo. So you date people by if they have Gmail or Yahoo or.
Yeah, but if you got an email, you thought you was a hot shot.
what I was always a little confused about was the picture is just the antlers. How did that come to be, or what?
Right? I will tell you.
Yeah,
That was a day I got and I might be, maybe not quite remember every little minute detail thing, but I got a call from my friend Ed Waite. You know Ed Waite, Buckmaster scorer. We went to the same class way back about 30 years ago, and we were one of the first Buckmaster scorers in the country. There are probably 2,000 or 3,000 scores now. My number is 72. His number is 78. We were in the same class together.
Class.
Yeah, I was number 72.
I still
Anyway,
see his
so-
name on sheets.
Right,
Yep.
right. So anyway, Ed says, "Hey, I got a call, man. This is crazy. They were somewhere. I had to drive somewhere around Fairborn, somewhere in there, at the guy's house. Finally found it, and I walked in, and there's that rack sitting on the table. And if you look, see the little masking tape marks up there?
Yep.
Yep.
All those are marked. Those are non-typical points. Those are non-typical. So you know which kinds
are all the abnormals.
Abnormals, right. And we was talking about mainframes.
And everything else was mainframed.
That wasn't originally measured by Buckeye Big Bucks, which is Ohio, and Buckmasters as a 5x5 mainframe.
Mainframe 5x5.
But you know what? It's one of those deer that you got to have some judgment calls. Is this really a G4 or a G3? Or they just couldn't exactly determine. It's a kind of set of antlers that are just, there's so many judgment calls on it. You know, there's just so many.
So there's even deductions in a non-typical.
There are deductions. That's the biggest mistake a lot of people. Well, it's a non-typical. There aren't any deductions. Yes, there are.
So if he's a 6x5 frame, that's
even if it's a crazy set of antlers like that, you're going to lose on the. There's always deductions on the typical mainframe, side to side deductions. Just like the Brian Stevens buck, he loses that 4.
I know.
That's like
That's crazy.
8 inches.
Yeah.
That it doesn't count.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's deductions on a. So what pushes a deer versus typical versus non-typical? There's deductions.
It used to be you had to have a certain percentage of those antlers to go. If certain that number had to be a certain percentage of the total number to make him a non-typical.
Gotcha.
It used to be that, but now you could. These days, if I remember, you can just choose.
They'll score him one way, and then let's see how he scores this way.
See how he goes it. But see, scoring systems. Oh
I
man,
know.
I could talk all night on that. I mean, I've measured literally 1,000 deer rounds.
Well,
or not more. Or not. I don't know.
We're gonna bring that up. I do want to talk about scoring deer eventually, but so he had cut the rack out of the deer before ever.
Well, it's
taking
been capped off.
Yeah, he didn't take any pictures of the because I.
Oh
don't,
yeah, there were some. Oh yeah, it hit the.
Hang on, I got one.
You got one?
There's another one. I just gotta get to it.
I just had never. I've always seen that picture. I've never seen him.
So in other words,
Well, I believe it was on the following fall. The following fall.
well, that's mounted.
Yeah, that's the mount in my studio. I took that in my studio, but it was on the cover of the hunting regulations the next fall. Of
Like on the carcass?
Oh, on the Mike holding that deer in the back of a pickup truck.
I remember that.
And I believe, I might be wrong, but I'm thinking the game warden took that picture. I think, but I might be wrong on that.
Because he did like call him out to document everything immediately. Didn't
You
he?
shoot a deer like that, you better have everything in a row because they are going to
investigate.
They are going to check it.
I mean, I don't know if I thought I had. I don't know if Mike told us but did a farmer run over a shed in a waterway the year before?
I don't know that, but his sheds from the previous year were found. As a matter of fact, I have a replicated copy of Mike's deer when he was, get this, 3.5. That deer was field aged, not scientifically, as a 4.5-year-old.
So
Yeah.
what was the?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and the sheds are definitely. I mean, this is no mistake. It's him. It's the same configuration, just a little bit smaller.
What did he put on roughly from? I mean, roughly.
And I don't know that I remember the measurements of the 2.5 years, but he was in the low 200s. He probably put on 100 inches or so.
And then
the next year.
What did this buck ultimately? I want to know like gross score. To be honest with you,
I don't know the gross. It's in Buckmasters. I think at about,
3 teens or 3?
it might be in the. I don't think it's in the teens, but it's in like 311ish, 12ish, maybe. I don't know, but anyway, the big thing was Pope and Young because Buckmasters at the time wasn't as popular as it is today.
Right.
It was just an up and coming scoring, system.
Yep.
Which I figured in my opinion, was a better way to measure deer.
Basically, a way of not taking away everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
deductions. But on that previous, see, I got to tell you the story on this deer real quick.
yeah, we want to hear the story.
Yeah, but this is interesting. Okay, anything top 10 that is harvested, and if you want to get it entered, you don't have to enter any deer just because you can do anything you want with it. It's your deer.
Yep.
You don't have to do anything with it, But this is like a new world's record, in the Pope and Young non-typical category. Typical, non-typical. This deer is going to go into the non-typical. Okay, because of all the points. Now, the day we measured them, Ed and I, we sat down and we counted all those points. And there's so many things going on in those antlers. You know, you have to, I mean, really look, it takes a kind of a nightmare scoring situation. But this is what happened. In Buckmasters, Ed and I scores that deer with 41 points.
And did you do it?
And in Pope and Young and Boone and Crockett, because this deer qualifies for Boone and Crockett also, because they recognize everything, gun, kill, or bow, Boone and Crockett. But Pope and Young is strictly bow and arrow. Okay, but this is something else. There are 2 protrusions on those antlers. I call them protrusions. See, for a credible point, you have to have an inch. You have to have that first inch of antler growth. 1.0. You got to have the 1. If it's just under an inch at any fraction, it's not a point.
0.975 is
Nope.
not. Nope.
It doesn't count. However, if you have 1 inch and then, say 15/16, then you can round it up to
Goes
2.
to 1.2. Or,
You can go
So
2 inches.
it rounds up to 2 inches.
Right, but you got to have the first. If you have one point that's 15/16, it's not a point.
So everything's rounded to the closest eighth of an inch or quarter of an inch?
16th.
16th of an inch.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
to the 6th. You got to have that 16th to round up to the next 8th, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
But anyway, the thing is, so in Buckmasters, it's 41 points. When it went to panel, because every 3 years at Boone and Crockett, they get together and they're the Supreme Court of measuring antlers, blah, 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 this and that. It's kind of ridiculous. But that's how they do it. And it's okay. So there's 2 protrusions, because I can't call them points, they're protrusions. And when it went to panel, they had to measure those protrusions, because, gosh, is that an inch? Let's break out our
Calipers or whatever.
what's the thing that, oh my gosh, I can't.
Micrometer.
That's right. They were actually measured with a micrometer, the protrusions at 30 seconds, not an inch.
So they deducted them.
Didn't deduct them, they just didn't count.
Yeah, they just took them off, then count them as a point.
Yeah, they're just like invisible. They didn't grow because they didn't have that first inch. That's how crazy it gets sometimes.
Does going back to
Funny, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
it
seems
it's
kind of
crazy.
odd.
It's crazy.
The rules kind of go one way and then the other, right?
Yeah.
Does anybody know the story on the Beatty Buck on how
Well,
he?
I mean that article right there. Is,
No, how he? I mean, was there
oh, absolutely.
like what is the story to how he? I mean,
Basically,
I didn't know if anybody.
in a nutshell, he drew up on he saw a good 8-pointer that he was going to shoot, and forgive me, Mike, if I don't have every minute detail, in my memory bank, but he sees a good 8-pointer approaching in the stand, and he has every intention of shooting this deer, and comes in and doesn't give him a shot. It fades away, out of sight, kind of. So he pulls out that can, that Primos can.
That's right.
Remember that, Joel?
Yes.
You remember that now,
I remember
right?
the story now.
Yeah. So, he thinks, I want to get this deer back to get a shot at him, So he, with the can thing. A few seconds later, he walks
That guy walks out. What'd he kill him with?
with a bow.
With a bow?
Oh, yeah, Pope and Young.
Okay,
Pope and
gotcha.
Young world
Yeah.
record. Yeah.
I think
Pope and Young.
PSC. I don't remember what he was shooting.
That's
Was he
another great story. Okay, because back then in 2000, you remember the bows back then?
Yeah.
In 2000, they first come out with the compound bows, you had a 35% let off, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you
Oh, yeah, that's right.
remember that?
That's right. Because be
35%,
Pope and Young, you got to
well,
be 80-20.
No, you got to be less than that.
Or you have to be less than 20% let off for Pope and Young.
So at the time, he
yes.
had a 50% let off bow. Well, at the time, Pope and Young was not. They said, well, we don't count 50% let off compound bows. You got to be only 35%. Yeah. So Pope and Young says, hey, we can't take your deer.
And since then, they've changed.
Well, they're going to have to. You're going to have to change, or you're going to be out of business.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everybody.
There isn't a bow
Right,
under that now.
What are they now? 90% let off.
Yes,
or
90%
something?
let off.
It's
That's
crazy.
right. I remember.
Yeah,
They
so-
now recognize.
Sure,
as
they
at
have
one
to.
point,
They had to
yeah.
make the change to recognize that deer as
So I have
the new world record.
A quick question.
Okay.
So as far as with you and Ed, So
Who's
do
Ed?
Good Ed Boyd.
Ed Waite.
He's a good.
So do you and Ed collaborate and judge it together, or do you score it and then does Ed score it?
This is how bad it is. I'm so busy with deer.
If you get what I'm saying.
And so I only measure deer if the guy is just like pretty persistent and he just he just wants this thing measured.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I always hate the term score.
I know.
I've learned to get that out of score. Score. Like, oh, it's a competition between that deer and this deer. Hey, this deer is a 159. This is a 162, so it's a bigger deer. It's a better deer. No, it's not. It's a measuring system, and it's just I always do measure. I'll measure your deer. I don't score it because it's a score. It's not a game.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm saying. A score
Right.
is a 1-0 or a 5-4 game or what.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
not- So I hate the term. I hate the term score.
Measure.
So it just measure
Yeah.
the deer and what's it come out to.
So-
But a lot anymore now. When I get a lot of deer that they want entered in, and I'm a Buckmaster scorer. I've been for 30 plus years.
Yep.
I do it because people want it. But a lot of times, I said, Ed, I got 10 of them here. Come over. He'll come and measure.
So like, I mean, on a Beatty Buck like that, when you measure it, he measures it, Ed measures it, you measure it, you guys like compare notes? Do you?
I can see people doing that on something like that.
On that, yeah.
Because there's so many
Yeah.
calls, Joe. Just like the Groeschel buck from 2 years ago, the whitetail cover, it had a lot of calls on that thing, and I wanted to measure it for Matt, and there was a few. I said, I had Ed come over. He was going to measure other racks. I said, Ed, I got a 210 something on that thing. Would you put a tape on? He goes, yeah, I'll put it on. I said, this is a judgment call. What do you think of that? Should that go this way or that way? He goes, yeah, you did it right. That's your rules. It's not rocket science by any means, but there are certain procedures and guidelines that you follow because you want to keep that kind of a consistent,
Right.
for the score.
The most controversial thing is the common base stuff.
What's that mean?
So that is 2 tines coming down on the main beam, and if there isn't any distinct,
The figure 8.
yes,
If you figure, you got to feel that little. If you can take your thumb and forefinger and you can feel this 8 shape, then you have 2 separate points.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So
it's weird.
other words, look up at that, and if that G4 and G3, I don't know if Rick
Yeah.
has one on the ground.
Yeah, let me
grab
grab-
one.
let me grab this
So
real
other
quick.
words, if they come down to the main beam and they're almost together,
Well, this is pretty easy to just. This is easy.
right there, that one's kind of
Right here.
yes.
This is your 1, 2. This is not the 3. This is abnormal because of this. And this is probably not the greatest example, but this is obviously not. Tine is not growing off the main beam like this one. See, it's obvious. It's obvious. See how this is obviously growing off the main beam. This is kind of.
So basically, if that one, Corey, came down like right in here,
Let me see.
Yeah.
So we're saying because it's splitting off of this tine and not
Right.
growing off of that tine. That does not count as
But
that's not the G.
but they can
that's not the
almost-
G3.
but they can almost come down to the main beam together, and
Together.
if there isn't enough separation between them, it becomes
Well, I don't know if this is, but the big buck like 2 years ago that was turned out to be not legal. and stuff.
yes, that deer.
That deer had one of those common
It
base
did.
thing.
It did.
And if
I
that
noticed that whenever I saw it, I was
right,
like, "That's probably not
like
gonna."
if you go, no, if that's going to be an abnormal point. That's just how they do it.
Yeah,
Do-
can you
doesn't-
find that deer?
it
Which
doesn't-
one was it?
The one that got confiscated.
Oh,
guy-
the Alexander
Yeah,
buck?
the
Yeah,
Alexander,
yeah.
CJ Alexander. I don't know
That,
if you
by
got
the
a-
way, I've never seen it in person, but I've talked to people that have seen it. It's just unfreaking believable. If that deer would have been a typical clean, if that would have been a typical 3, I think G3, it would easily be a world's record typical, easily by a long way. But it's just the way it was built, kicks it out. So
Now it's
that's
at
just
the
what it is.
Ohio or the DNR right
Yeah.
there in a case.
$38,000 fine, and
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, and you know what? The guy got off. That's another thing. He got off easy, really, when you think about it. I mean, I know they charge per inch or however.
But he had already like sold it or something.
Oh, he did, but see, he paid the per inch value on a poached deer, and I don't know exactly what it goes.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, he ended up 38, whatever it was. If he had to pay street value on that, collectors would pay. You'd be looking at six figures.
Is that what it would
yeah.
be?
Yeah, that's a 6-figure deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, is that
For people that
kind of a stupid question here? But is that this isn't a stupid question. Let me back up. When a replica is made of that deer, is it illegal to make a replica of a deer that the person that killed it didn't approve that replica to be made?
Well, and now say that again. I don't quite.
So if I want a replica of any deer and I bring it to you and you make 5 replicas,
how did you get the deer?
Sorry.
Like the deer that you're giving to him?
No,
is it your deer?
I killed. Yes, that's my question. My question
is it a legal kill?
My question is if I have a deer and I killed it, I bring it to you and I had 5 replicas made, and one of those replicas goes over here and it's sold to somebody, and somebody takes and makes a replica of that deer.
Of a replica.
Is a replica of a replica legal to sell or distribute?
Depends on it. People have done that. Looks like Brian Stevens, the replica I had here last time. I mean, that was one of the original, but I don't know if someone got a hold of another replica and made a replica. You can do that. I mean,
now with that 3D crap and everything, people can do whatever they want to.
As a matter of fact, my friend,
I was wondering if it was like a legality thing. Like that's not the deer that I didn't know. That's all my question was.
Okay, it's like this. The guy came in with that scanner thing we were talking about. He comes in with his laptop and scans. He scans the Stevens Bucks, maybe a little thing. He got the opportunity to scan that Alexander buck. He says, "Rick, I got this. I can make any replica." I don't really know. You make it. It's plastic. It's not like.
Right.
It's not like a deer. It's just like a painting.
Right.
You know. I mean, if you
pretty much,
like
a painting.
I guess
it's a painting that you make.
you can paint any painting that I guess is on the wall. I guess that makes sense.
So what you have, and the value of it is really nothing. So if you can sell it, good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking. I would sell as many as I could.
Them points on that side. See that. See on that side, that 2 and that 3, how there's no separation between them.
Hey, I got a perfect example here. Oh, what did I do with my?
So
I got one of my magazines. Can I go run over there and grab it?
Grab it
real quick?
Yep. So my other question is when he can sell that buck.
All right, let's get rid of the poached deer.
Yeah.
We
I was going to say
for an example.
Fuck that kid. Way to fuck up an opportunity of a lifetime right there. In my opinion.
He shot another deer that year.
Yeah, well, he's probably not in prison though or anything. I don't know if he's
not.
Yeah.
No, he's doing like social media, trying to retract himself and everything. I think.
Great.
You know what?
Super.
I'll tell you, I've got some 30. Dude, you screw up your life like that, man. It's over a damn deer. God.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. He's.
Well, and then not let the deer be an opportunity to be put in the record books is what also pisses me off.
That's what sucks.
I don't even care if the buck was the die in being hit by a car. I'd rather that happen than being poached.
Have you got that deer maybe up on the board or something?
I do.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to talk about the funny point. Common base.
So I wanted to ask one more question about replicas, and so when it comes to replicas and the original deer, when you guys talk about selling a deer for $100,000, like the Brian Stevenson's deer or the Beatty Buck or whatever, but the replicas don't sell for that much, right?
Oh, gosh,
the original,
no.
What does a replica sell for?
I can tell you this, Klaus, the guy that
what's buys all the replicas.
What's his company? And he at the time the Beatty.
The guy that sells the shirts and the sweatshirts.
Replicas by Klaus. Whatever his company is. When the Beatties first started,
Whitetails Unlimited. Or?
The replicas were $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah, the hole in the horn, which I did. I should have brought that picture. I was doing mounting a replica of the hole in the horn and the original Beatty Buck. Had them both at the same time. Put them right together and took pictures of them side by side.
You had the original two. You did both of those mounts.
I did a replica of the hole in the horn.
Oh, you did?
But,
Okay.
and the real Beatty Buck. Of
Yep.
course, I did the real one, and I had them together on
I
test.
remember that picture.
Remember that picture?
Yeah.
And I got them, and they rival each other really, but it's something
do.
else. Yeah, the Beatty Buck, it's 300 some inches, whatever. I mean, that's it is what that is.
But I mean, going back to aesthetically pleasing, I would take the Brian Stevenson's buck over. I mean, honestly, sorry.
Well, I mean, depends
when
what you like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all depending on what's in the beholder of the eye, right? Or the eye of the beholder. Mm-hmm. What's wrong?
Just time out. We're gonna have to make a cut because I cannot. I'm trying to get this hooked up.
Okay.
It's being goofy.
That's fine.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
Just
Do a cut. So the deer on the coffee table over there, Rick mounted the deer. So Tim had a deer lease where he lived, and it butted up to the Ravenna gun arsenal, which is and that deer walked across the railroad track that the hole in the horn was found dead on. So basically, that deer was killed right there. I killed that deer right where the hole in the horn was.
Oh, really?
Isn't that something else?
Where was it killed? Where was that? What area?
Portage
we're talking?
County.
Yeah, up in Portage County.
There it is.
Why were
That's
you
where-
down in Portage
That's
County?
where Tim
honey?
lived.
Oh, okay.
That's it,
I
man.
gotcha.
give me 1 second.
Damn, do I love to see those photos.
Let me get this to full
I
screen.
remember that. I remember
Yeah.
him.
It's Matt Haney.
Yeah.
That's a funny. Wow. I love that. By the way, I'm going to brag on that photo. Yep.
Right there.
That deer.
Right
we
there.
we got to talk about that.
Yep.
You
Hang
can
on.
talk
See
about.
them, how they're.
Yeah, Joel, you can point it out. Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine. By
Sorry, I
the way,
don't know
can you
why
bring
that
me a
was-
different
Yeah, you want some water?
thing? You could, if you got a bottle of water or something. Is it going all right?
So the Buckmaster system doesn't do spread in their score, correct?
Yes and no. They changed it.
They've changed?
They changed it.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, they changed it because you know why?
Because
Ego.
somebody shoots a 21-inch spread or 22-inch
because-
spread deer.
Because generally, and I'll talk about generally speaking, you'll get a lower number, even though there's no deductions.
I got you, Rick.
All right, thanks, bro.
Oh, what do you want?
Oh shit! Was I supposed? I'm sorry. I didn't hear anybody say anything. Apologies.
I'll put a little heat in it.
You drink any, Rick? You drink it all?
Only to excess.
Do what?
Only to excess.
Only to excess.
That's my favorite jokes. We should save it for the podcast. Do you drink, Rick? Just say it.
I will.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. We have inspection tomorrow.
Oh, inspections
Inspection and appraisal, and then we're gonna go from there.
My cousin Chris bought his first house.
Say it again.
Bought his first house.
Oh, really?
Yep. Over
That's-
in Wapak.
That's a major accomplishment these days, man.
It's probably been about the most stressful 2 weeks of my life.
I can believe it.
The whole
mean,
the
you-
whole
you-
fun in buying your first house, that is the biggest scam I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, it is crazy. It's just, I mean, I got a feel for the younger people, buying houses and stuff, and trying to buy a house and real estate. It's mind-boggling.
I mean, the problem is with all this and everything, it's during the next 10 years, it's coming back to being a blue-collar world.
It is. It's
Is it not?
Right.
I mean, they say we're short like 1 million electricians in the United States. We're short,
Everything has highs and lows, right?
huh?
I think everything has highs and lows. What?
Pick out the good stuff.
I'm always left eating the fucking long pretzels because Joel picks through all the good stuff. I'm like fair about it. I just reach in and grab. I feel.
You take what you get.
Yeah, I take what I get. Joel's over there like shaking the thing, tilting it.
It's like how many marbles are in this jar?
Did you bow shoot that deer?
Yeah.
God damn, that's a nice buck.
Yep.
He's just so beautifully typical looking, I love
you
the
know?
big typicals. Oh, wow. That's a not likely not shoot another one like that.
Maybe.
I mean,
We'll see.
We'll see, man.
I mean, I have one. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think I have good spots that are, they produce. I think it's as much. I think hunting's as much effort as you put in, right? I think you can find 200s, and then if you find them, you got to make it fucking happen.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
it.
I know they're
That's
hard
it. That's
to.
one
I
thing.
mean, I know they're hard to find, but I mean, it's just like anything else. Gold's hard to find, but people find it, right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you ready?
Yeah.
I got two things about both covers if I want
Yeah, give it to me.
to say. Well,
We're
first
back.
of all, we were talking about the funny, the common base stuff.
Common base point.
And that deer, that was 2018.
Right there.
Yep. That was determined to be an abnormal
That's a
point.
real. That was which one's the
Okay.
two?
Look at the other side. It's so close. It's so close. If you look on the other side, it's just clean. There's no problem with that. It's no judgment. It's a 2, 3, 4, 5 way out there. But that one on the right side was determined to be. It went in the book as a 6x5 instead of a 6x6. But that was still in 2018 Ohio's biggest typical, which is pretty cool.
With that,
Even with that.
Which was what was the deduction on that?
Oh my God, it took, I think it was still over 200. It was, what was it? I think upper 90s or something. But
Yeah.
to net that, it
To
netted
net-
that.
it
But it
netted
grossed over 200.
yeah.
Yeah. And about that's a killer photo. Damn.
That's a good
I
photo.
love that photo. It's not traditional. Look at that angle. See, any photograph, when you do field photos,
And his remarks and everything is good too.
it's just, I mean, when you look at that, what's the first thing you see? That picture, what's the very first thing that pops out?
I mean, first thing that pops out to me is he's looking at the buck and smiling.
Well, even if you go to his face directs you right to the antlers.
right.
The antlers just jump off.
I mean, that side is what.
Yeah,
pops out to me.
that's just
Yeah.
a great shot. And I had, and that was
And was it night?
I don't know why I'm looking up when it's right here.
no. And who was the other guy?
It had to be low light.
It looks like it's low light.
I forget. My friend Travis was helping me with it because it's a funny story. It was a great story too. That was 2018 October. That was the October issue. And then the Rack magazine had the October issue of another buck of mine that I took a big non-typical. It's somewhere in that stack. It was a Rack cover. And it's a 232. He pulled in with that. But that was funny because that was like the very first part of November in 2018. I woke up like on November the 1st that year. For some reason, my hip was out of whack. I don't know why. I said, damn, this kind of hurts. And I'm going, what the heck is, it was a Friday when I had to do Carla makes up my shopping list for Walmart. I'm walking around, I said, God, this is not feeling good. And it's November 1st, I got to be on my game. Got to be able to move a little bit, so I'm talking to my wife, Carla, and I said, man, what's that chiropractor you go to? She gives me the name. I said, I got to go see him just in case because I'm about to be really hammered, busy. Anyway, I went to him, just, emergency, get in there and just see what he can do. I tell you, I walked in there, I limped in, and when he was done with me, I crawled out. I mean, I was in pain, man.
You walked out worse than when you went in.
It felt worse. I mean, nothing against him. But my guy couldn't do me for some reason. This is new for me. And my wife, Carla, had to dress me for 5 days in the morning. I could not get my pants on.
That sucks. Sciatic nerve or something.
Sciatic something.
Yeah.
It's in the hip.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sciatic nerve.
it's that whole month I was really hurting. So anyway, what's his name? It's in the Mecca store. I can't think of his name. It's local deer. It's a Logan County buck. It's a 232 dropped this massive. What's his name?
Brian Levan.
Levan.
Brian Levan.
He pulled into my driveway, right? And my helper was with me that day too. And he pulls in and here's this 232 in the back of his truck. I got it. It's pictured over there.
Brian
And he
Levan.
says, man, I got to photograph this deer. This is a cover for sure, cover buck if we can get the right pick. But I can hardly stand. I can hardly walk. I was feeling it. Brian No kidding. And we took pictures back in the fence row over my neighbor Jason's or my back fence row. I said, if you guys can help me wrestle this deer around, because Joel, you've been through photo shoots. It's just not an easy thing.
No, it's not.
It's
No.
it takes time and effort and some wrestling
Yes,
around
it
and getting,
does.
because nothing wants to lay perfect. That deer is dead and he falls where he wants to fall, and you got to prop it up, move it up, and then wrestle that thing around. And I was no good to anybody. Brian carries me back on his back, piggyback, to the fence row. He says, "I'll carry you back to the fence row." And of course, a lot of my photos, I have to get low.
We can sell you, or he can sell you a golf cart.
I was hurting. So a lot of my photos, I'm laying on
Hop
my,
on, little buddy. I love that.
to get the angles
Yeah.
of the shot. Sometimes you're sitting flat on your belly and you're shooting up. You got just get that perfect angle and stuff. You want that. It's a lot of work.
It's a
And
lot.
the hunters, I've done a couple with Joel. He's been through them, and it's just like, oh my God, this is just it's just.
Yeah,
takes
hang
it
on,
out.
give me a second. I can't hold these horns up any longer.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and but he carried me on his piggy on his.
I
back
got to be
like a
honest with you.
piggy.
I don't know what buck you guys are talking about. Killed in Logan County. Brian Levan buck. I don't know what buck that is.
It's a picture of it over there. Go
Can
get
you-
it. But it's
can
a
you
rack.
pull it up?
It's a rack cover.
I just Google it, Chris. If it's 232, it's going to pop up.
Well, I don't know if it's pop up because rack is not like a whitetail magazine, so it may not pop up.
Is Rack based out of Canada, or is Rack?
Rack is a sister
Buckmasters.
of Buckmasters.
Okay,
It's-
yeah.
They're related. It's the same company. Rack is a spinoff of Buckmasters.
So let me ask a question, because I bet 99% of deer hunters do not know this. Can you explain the difference between, like, and I know this is specific to Ohio, but like Ohio Big Buck, Buckmasters, Pope and Young, Boone and Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I bet nobody knows the answer to that listens to this.
I mean, I know.
You might know.
Ohio Big Buck is 140.
Yeah. So I mean,
Those are the minimums for
Okay,
entry.
Those are the minimum.
140 with a bow or a
140
gun.
net.
And got to net it.
Okay, so 140 net and bow or gun
I
or
don't think
both.
it matters for Ohio Big Buck, does it?
Ohio Big Buck, yeah. Pope and Young is lower.
125.
125 for them, typical. 155 non-typical. Buckeye Big Bucks is 140 typical, and I think it's 155 non-typical. I think I don't follow it so much
I'm
anymore.
not sure.
They're basically measured about the same. The
Okay.
same kind of procedure where you put your baseline marks and you measure from the top. I mean, there's basically the same.
So when he's saying baseline, if you see something that Rick has scored or anybody has scored, they'll have pencil marks. They'll have pencil marks at the bottom of every tine, which is the baseline that is like the curvature of the main beam, and basically that's their pencil mark from where they start their tine lengths.
Okay, so you want to know the difference between
I mean, what makes one-
Pope and Young, Buckeye Big Bucks, for example, and Boone and Crockett, they all have the exact scoring procedure. You should get the same number. It's the same, pretty much the same thing.
Chris, just bring the magazines over here, the whole stack.
Well, it's not on a magazine, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's over there. Just bring the whole stack
it
over.
was a rack cover,
So, anyways, go ahead.
but but Buckmasters, 30 years ago, they wanted Russell Thornberry. He was one of the founders.
remember
Man,
Russell
met
Thornberry.
Russ, I
Yep.
know him well. I guess he's still around.
Do they? I mean, can you only enter into?
No.
You can enter into.
Absolutely.
I just
And
don't. I
all
don't.
the books you want.
I don't get. I just don't get like the differences or.
Yep, that's Brian.
Look at that thing.
Never seen that buck or that guy. I didn't even know that was taken in Logan County.
I'm pretty sure it was Logan.
Yeah, it says Logan County.
It's Logan
Yep.
County. I pretty much know the
So,
farm.
so,
It's a-
so I
great deer.
had the whitetail cover and the rack cover October same year on the cover both, which is pretty cool for me.
Here, I'm going to show the magazine. Go ahead and click on.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but
Can you see it?
I'm glad I didn't put up a picture because that is not the buck I found online.
That's not the buck you
Not
found
even
online.
remotely close.
Yeah.
That's why I was
All
trying
right.
to look for it.
But if you can imagine him pulling that thing in the bed of his pickup,
It's a beautiful deer.
We got to. I mean, this is massive. It's a crazy.
It's
deer.
awesome.
Yeah, and said, well, we got to take this one back here and do our thing with this because how many 232s are going to come pulling? So I'm going to photograph that deer. because he's got a good chance to, if we get the right photo, the good photo.
Make a magazine.
you get-
So
you
like
get
North
the-
American Whitetail didn't want that deer? Or?
I didn't submit it to
Oh,
them.
why just?
I don't know. It just, sometimes magazines, this rack and Buckmasters is such a family close thing, and then you get into the big. It's just more. I think at the time Whitetail was called Intermediate Outdoors. I think something like that.
Gotcha.
And although I knew Gordon personally, which was a great thing, I had a little.
They have kind of changed hands, haven't they?
Yeah, I still follow it, but I still have every issue since '82. But
So
every issue.
I'd like to-
every issue.
I hate to keep
North
going.
American Whitetail still do a hard or still does a
They'll do
paper
it.
issue.
Yeah,
Yep.
that article I was telling you about the disease things. That's the
Yeah.
current issue, man. It's really good. It's a thick. It's just. I love magazines. I'm old school. Joel probably is too. We just love
Yeah.
getting the magazine instead. Oh, I read my story online. I don't want to pull out my damn phone and read about your
Right.
story. I want a physical magazine, and I like to, not that we sit and read it cover to cover.
Right.
So, before you go on,
Yeah.
my friend was at a guy that hunts with me. He was at in the New England. He's from Maine. I think there was like a New England area Trappers Association meeting, and John Goodman, which is like an editor and all the pictures and everything on fur, fish, and game. Was at the thing, and Tom said, John Goodman asked for your phone number and wants to hunt with you.
Oh wow!
Was this recently?
Like this weekend,
Oh,
John
That's
Goodman
awesome.
from Fur, Fish, and Game.
I mean,
Pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
You can
freaking awesome.
You still buy? I mean, fur fish still on the
It's
news
still
rack.
on the news rack?
Yeah, still on the
Yes.
newsstand. Fur fish.
He's
game.
like, and then Tom Miranda must just come out with a new trapping magazine or trapping book that he wrote about all the old time professional trappers. And John Goodman was like was the publisher and all the pictures
Nice.
and was a big part of that magazine.
So
of
when's
that
John
book.
coming?
Yeah,
So-
has he contacted you yet?
Yeah. So. I have his contact. I haven't talked to him yet.
Gotcha.
John Goodman.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, for
And
sure.
and once he said that, I distinctly remember when I was a kid and all the little drawings on the front and everything. I distinctly remember Goodman or whatever on.
I remember
all
that,
those
seeing that
paint-
name too,
yes.
because I was a huge fan of fur fish game
Me too,
Because trapping.
Yes, I mean
All
that's
about trapping.
I couldn't
what it
wait
was,
for my fur fishing game to come in the mail, man. I could not wait.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, what made you go to the Buckmasters class versus?
Because I wanted to. I just wanted to measure deer, and I wanted to get to a different, other than Buckeye Big Bucks.
I mean, what about like Pope and Young has a class, Boone and Crockett has a class? or-
Yeah, you have to go. So there's a lot of. See, if you measure for Boone and Crockett and Pope and Young, you got to be able to measure all the big game animals: caribou, moose, pronghorn, on and on.
Okay.
It's
all
just
the big
not
game
whitetails.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's
didn't-
not just whitetails.
didn't know that.
Buckmasters is strictly whitetails.
Gotcha.
They don't measure pronghorns or mule deer. But when you go to those, you have to.
Got to do it all.
Frankly, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big mule deer
Sounds
are
terrible.
awesome, but
But
yeah,
we-
but
I mean, it
I-
sounds horrible.
while it was just when we took a break, we were talking, and Buckmasters used to be no spread.
So they
was
had
the thing with
no
Buckmasters.
spread.
yeah, they had no spread, but they
Nobody
did,
wanted to enter
but-
then because they took away 18, 16, 20, 22
Yeah, but
inches.
but you didn't have any deductions either.
There were no deductions, but nobody had a spread.
Yeah.
You follow me? So I mean, if
What do
it
you mean
was,
nobody had
So
a
in other
spread?
words, you could have a giant deer with 12 inches, or somebody had a giant deer that was 20 inches. Nobody's spread counted. So
Well, see, Buckmaster's philosophy was they just measured the volume of antler, and really it this is what always drove me crazy. And I don't have come down on these. I don't care. I don't rag on them, but with Buckeye Big Bucks, Boone and Crockett, and so forth, they measure all these antlers. Okay, sorry. about
No, you're pulling that in. There we go.
You measure all these times, then you go, well, this G2 is 9 inches and this one's 11, so you need to deduct 2 inches. Then you go on down, so they got the symmetry deductions that drove me nuts.
I
It's
don't
crazy.
like that either.
So, and then at the end, they measure what? The inside spread, right?
Yep.
And then you were credited for that. And I'm going thinking, so you get you get deducted for what he grows, and then you get credit for what not there.
Yeah.
Airspace.
Yeah. You get deducted for the points that don't
Yeah.
make sense left or right, but
Yeah.
then you're just,
which
Yeah.
you have.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you grew it.
Yeah, and so I also had a deer from I didn't bring it, but yeah, back in 03, 04, something like that. Guy shoots this beautiful deer, his first bow kill, and it's got a third beam. It's got the third beam. It's a separate pedicle, and it's actually growing a third beam. It's like it's separated from the original. It's a three beam deer, and it's like 15, 16 inches long. And I'm thinking, well, how do they measure this, Pope and Young? They said, well, certainly it'd be a non-typical point, which would be credited. You still get it just go into the non-typical category.
Right.
He goes, yeah, I had that thing measured, and they just pretend it's not there. They don't count it one way or the other.
Not even there.
It's
The whole
invisible.
third.
The third beam just doesn't count. How's that make sense?
I mean, to me, I would.
It's just
So what is the percentage to push it into typical versus non-typical? Does anybody know? Is it 20%?
It used to be, and I forget the percentage what it was, but now you can just pick.
Okay, because
And there are some deer that make it both ways.
And Rick will know the answer to this. Something about if the spread is greater than the main beam
That's
or
right.
something like that.
You only
It
get
doesn't
credit.
count?
You only get If the inside spread is greater than the length of the longest main beam, you only get credit for the longest main beam.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
is that a rule now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as I do it, like
Why-
I'm not big on
where
measuring
do
deer.
they? Who comes up with
I
these
don't know.
rules? Who's making these decisions? I mean, to
Democrat.
me, just yeah, right. To me, just measure the antler. Measure the antler. What's real?
That's good.
And if it's, I agree. I mean,
I
it
don't
sounds stupid. It sounds stupid to keep going back and
Well,
forth.
like I say, I
measure
don't wanna-
the antler.
what-
measure the difference between if there's
Well-
a percentage, go one way or the other. Make it simple.
And
Don't-
up until a few years ago, Buckmasters now have two numbers on your official score sheet. It's called the official score sheet, and then the other name for it, including the inside spread, whatever they call that, a composite score or whatever it is. So now they include the inside spread with that number because now you have no deductions plus an inside spread. Now you're going to get an even higher elevated number in hunters like that. Because
I do.
Yeah, because their buck instead of a 184 is now a 198. You know what I mean? So it's
I mean, here's my opinion. If there's antler, measure it,
Mm-hmm.
and then measure the spread. Add it all up. That's what you get. That's how things
Well-
should be measured, and I think that's what it should be, in my opinion.
well, yeah,
And then it
because
should
you're
push-
going to get a higher number.
I just want to know what the antler is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just kind of the way. I mean, I hate to be that simplistic
Now-
about it. I just
now
want to
you-
know what the antler is.
Now you see my quandary on the water displacement
I
system.
don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
By the way, we were talking about that. It came up briefly there
Yeah.
on the last time.
Mention-
You know what that's called? That's not a new system. That's called the Burkett system. And that
It's
was
out there?
10 years or 100 years ago.
The Burkett system.
It was called the Burkett. It was absolutely a water displacement. Well, that's not practical. You'll keep a tank of water here.
Exactly,
It's
I
not
know.
practical to do
Yeah.
that. So it didn't catch on.
Didn't catch on.
Did not catch on.
Yeah.
It's called the Burkett system. But I remember, yeah. And, but the
I
water
just-
displacement. But that kind of sucks too, really.
It
Yeah, I
does.
don't like
I
it
know.
either. Any measuring, like, we talked about last time. Just step back 6 feet and look at that thing. Holy.
Yeah.
Honestly, the more we talk about it, the more it makes me just want to start doing that. Like the more we talk about
So-
score, the less I care about it.
Yeah,
honestly.
and that's the way it is. I mean, I know so many people that don't give one rat's crap about what that deer scores. They don't even want to get it measured. Some people do.
The deer that Rick mounted when he was in his basement there or at his mom's
In the
or
day,
whatever
in the
in the
day.
day,
Yeah.
I had that deer scored and I never had another deer scored.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
I mean, you've had that deer scored.
Just by
But not officially.
just at deer camp sitting here
Oh,
writing
you're saying
down numbers.
officially
but
scored.
not entered.
I got you.
You just
yeah.
put a quick
yeah.
tape on it, get an idea.
And pretty much other than that and that, like the only reason is because everyone that walks in here asks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Other
right.
than that,
And it's-
I've never measured anything.
So,
Makes
like a
sense.
courtesy to the customers, you go, well, I'm not measuring that deer. No, you
Yeah.
go,
You do it just
to your
because they
clients.
wanna
you-
know.
They want to know, so you
Yeah.
do it. So, the one Taylor shot when she was 12, the best day in the hunting woods ever. You remember that night?
Yep.
Dude, I don't care if that deer was a 120 or a 150. It's in probably a mid 40s
Yeah,
buck. But
right.
I never did measure that deer. I just don't care because that. Oh, remember that night I called you, Joel? She got this big deer. This is like she's shaking. She's about to come out of her shoes, man. She's just, and it was just the best hunting night. I mean, nothing compares to it. It's just amazing.
Nope, I agree. I mean, I haven't on it personally. I haven't cared about score in a long time. I mean, when we measured your buck, we measured it in the dark. We put a number to it, and like when somebody asks, we say like 165 to 175. That buck's like 180 to 190. I don't know. But like, I think if you start killing 200s, that's when I would probably want to have them measured.
You get a Beatty or Stevens
that
buck.
Was,
you got
that,
one.
that was 3 of us sitting there and writing down
Numbers.
on
Yeah.
on paper.
It's important.
Yeah.
I mean, people, you just do it because people are just curious.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean much to me anymore.
Same.
I almost kind of discourage it anymore. Just what I've evolved over 40 some years of doing this.
Because people you're super excited about your deer, so why come down if you think that this is all it's going to score?
I had a guy one year, his deer, I measured it at 159 and change. Gave him a score sheet. I wanted a 160.
So give me that piece of paper back.
So no. So he gets a remeasure. He calls me back. Says, "Rick, you made an arithmetic error. It's a 160 and 5/8." Now he's happy. The antlers are the same. He didn't put, but now he's happy. Now he's happy. But it's okay. It's all good, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to kill as big of antlers as I can kill, but I don't. I don't have. Yeah. I mean, I have bucks at my house. I don't know most of their scoring. I know a range on them.
I knew collectors. I've known all the big time collectors throughout the country. Through Richard.
Yep.
He knew everybody, and he introduced me to everybody. He knew they were the biggest antler collectors on the continent, and I've seen the biggest collections. The guys, a lot of them just don't care that much about score. They were more interested in the story behind it, and how that.
Where's our picture of Richard? He needs to pull that picture of Richard up here.
Where's that framed picture?
It's the framed picture.
Is it back?
Oh, right here.
It's right here.
I know what you guys are talking about.
Yep, the framed picture. This is
Set it facing towards that camera right there.
This was a good friend of Rick and I's, and Rick introduced me to
Chris?
him.
Kind of go down, like tilt towards
Forward,
the camera.
there you go.
Like that.
Yep, perfect.
Get these out of the way a little bit.
No, you're good.
But I took this picture of Richard. I mean, what can you say about him? I met Richard back in 1984.
Richard raised deer.
84, not 1884, 1994. But, he'd heard, I was just kind of getting into taxidermy at the time, and some guy brought me this freaking giant. We thought it was big at the time. I mean, it's like a 180 class buck, big palmated thing. He'd heard about it, blah, blah, blah. He tracked me down, and boy, the rest is history. We hit it off because he was a big time. The dude, he spent 50 years of his life with a whitetail deer every single day.
Yes, he did.
The knowledge this man had of a whitetail, not school knowledge, in the field with him every single day. He knew him. Boy, did he know.
So, I mean, I'm telling you, he would. So if he had, the good one was Flag. Talk about Flag.
No, the good one was,
Can you guys?
well, he had 2 of them.
Can you guys back up a little bit and just kind of tell about this person or what he did or what he does?
Richard, he was an entrepreneur. He loved whitetails.
Yes, he did.
And he, gosh. Dude light up a room, buddy. I'm telling you, walk in, his jokes were just ridiculous for funny. He was just a good person, big heart, do anything for you.
What did his business card say?
He actually had it printed up. Hey, Richard, what do you do? Well, actually, he was a dairyman. He had a milk route and ice cream.
That's right. I forgot about
way back
that.
in there. That's when he quit that to do this deer show thing because he thought he could make a living, and he did, showing deer. Because he says, I want to expose people to what big deer are, and so he had big deer, live ones. He'd take them around in a horse trailer to different shows and build it up. He did a lot of big shows.
If you've seen the Barnum and Bailey show movie or whatever, this was Richard. Richard
Yeah.
was like Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah, but he could handle the deer, and he just knew so much because he had Right.
So his business was what? What did
Deer
he-
shows.
Oh,
He was an animal, and it
so
wasn't
raised
but-
deer and then took him around
He-
to like
he-
fairs and stuff. And
Exactly.
He would
That-
pull. He would pull into the grand opening at Cabela's or at Gander Mountain.
Right, right.
And then he would have this really nice trailer, and he would open it up and sell
Actually,
stuff.
Night and Hail. Remember Night and Hail game calls?
Yep, Night and
I
Hail.
don't think still around, but he really good friends. We hunted down on their property a lot of times. But anyway, they sponsored him. They built him a beautiful show trailer where you pull up to wherever you want and you open the gates and there's 2 freaking 180s standing there. And at the time, how many hunters got to see a 180 like from me to you? It was just fascinating thing
Yeah.
to see, And
And they were docile pets. I mean,
they were.
I mean,
But you,
every deer once they rub out gets
Right,
a little mean.
right.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Richard didn't. He just loved whitetails in particular, but he dealt with all kinds of animals. He goes, "Oh, you ever show?" He had African lions at one time. He had a big scar on his hand where an African lion bit him, and all these big exotic. He had a lot of.
so
but
he
but
had
his love was
he
whitetail
had
deer.
animals on his property.
his
He
farm.
raised
He
animals.
raised animals.
That was his living. That's how he made his living.
He after he retired from the dairy the milk.
He was a
route,
milk route.
He is a
but
milk
he had
route.
animals during the milk route.
Loved it. The first time I met
Gotcha.
Richard, I knew him, and he said, "Come on over sometime, and I'll show you my deer out back." You go in there, I walk in his house, and there's a deer running around in his house, a doe.
But talk about the Jeff Foxworthy video.
Now we're all going back. Do you remember
That
the
was
old?
Flag. Was that not Flag?
That was Flag.
That was Flag.
That was Flag.
Flag is the name of a deer.
That's the name of a deer.
Actually, I think it was Thunder. Maybe it was Flag because he was the most docile, very
docile.
tame, and a mature deer. Every deer had a personality, and he knew the personality of all the deer in his pens and how to handle them and what you could do, get away with each particular deer. But Flag was very docile, and you probably don't remember him before your time, even with Jeff Foxworthy.
I know Jeff Foxworthy.
Okay,
of course
well-
I know
But
Jeff
this was
Foxworthy.
it was called the Incomplete Deer Hunter. That
That's
was
right.
the name of the
And guess where they filmed it at?
I have no idea.
Richard's farm.
Okay.
So Jeff met Richard, and of course, through Richard, I met Jeff, and we was there making the Incomplete Deer Hunters, and the way we had it set up, Foxworthy he's a deer hunting fanatic,
Yes, he is.
absolutely at the time.
Friend
and
of
he still
mine,
is.
or a
Right.
friend of mine's brother runs his farms
Right.
down there. Yep,
And
in Georgia.
And if you look, if you can, I don't know if you can still get those tapes. They're hilarious. They're really funny.
They're like SNL skits for deer hunting.
Kind of
right?
like Saturday Night Live for
Very,
deer hunting.
very good.
Yep.
But Jeff would never have a script, and some of the he had his 4 acre, 5 acre deer pen out back. We'd set up a make it look like he was in hunting in a tree, and we'd have Flag back here, and he's like a 170 plus class buck, big deer, and Jeff with no script, and just never miss a word. Every word was perfect, and he'd go off the cuff on this, just absolutely sarcastic as hell, like he's talking serious, and So here's the bit. He says, "Well, you gotta really focus on what you're doing once you get out here, and you can't let your mind wander. You gotta really concentrate." And the whole time he's talking, Flag's walking right by the tree stand.
I think he makes a rub behind him.
Yeah,
or
he makes a
something.
rub back there. He says, "You got to really focus on what you're doing." And everybody, the whole crew, we had several people helping us there do all that. And they're all just, they're trying to hold in their laughter because you can't bust out in laughter in the middle of this thing he's doing,
Yeah.
So, and another bit was, we took spray paint and spray painted Jeff on the side of the deer,
Okay.
right? Didn't hurt the deer at all, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the thing, it may not happen today, but somewhere out there, there's a deer with my name on it. And the deer walks by.
Yeah, and I
And
think
there's
the
Flag that
walks
walks
right
by.
by.
Yeah, with
So was this like for the TV show, for a DVD or
It
a
was for a
VHS?
DVD.
the DVD.
DVDs.
DVD or VHS at that time?
VHS, yeah.
It was a
And
VHS
there was
at that
one
time.
time where Flag walked in. He was laying on the couch.
Yeah,
and he
we were
walks
in
and
Richard's
like-
basement, and of course they would get into that southern, hillbilly like thing and talking. Hey, ain't no deer out there today. We ain't gonna go. The barometer ain't right, and he go on and on. Act like he fall asleep on the couch. This actually happened. It's on video. Flag walks into the living room and Jeff's sprawled out on the couch with his hand on the back of the couch, just laying there, and Flag comes up and starts licking his hand.
What is this thing, like
And
a
it's-
pet dog? I mean, what you guys got a pet dog going
Well,
on?
it's a big mature whitetail,
And it's just like
it's
a
just there,
pet.
and then he goes, and it's all off the cuff, no script.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely
It's
everybody
good.
is just
Incomplete deer hunter.
I said-
incomplete deer hunter, and it ain't. And here's this big buck licking his hand while he's passed out on the couch, supposed to be deer.
I mean,
deer.
it's good stuff.
I
It's
said
fine.
last
It's fine.
time
It's
I'll have to
hilarious.
find it on YouTube and watch some videos. I feel like I've never seen it.
I mean, he shoots a deer and he then he walks and does the recovery and he's like looking back at his stand. He said, "Damn, people in Georgia don't go on vacation this far, you know," and just lots of good
He
stuff.
just the way he spoke, it just absolutely never never mispronounced a word. Everything was so perfect, and you go, "How the hell does he do that?" You know?
But some of the most amazing Richard stories, he could walk out in his pen at a certain date in January or February, and he could have a hold of that deer's antler on that
February
day,
4th.
that day at February 4th, and have a hold of his antler, and that deer would go like that, and he would be holding it.
he just like knew it was going to shed,
Absolutely,
or
he had a deer that dropped every day,
The same time,
date,
every day.
every year,
Every year.
he'd drop. He would know. So
I mean, does that go into the deer's genetics or his knowing of deer? Or, I mean, how do you do
the
that?
deer are just absolutely amazing. I mean, just how
He
knew
would
it.
hold it.
He's got
it would
video
shake
of it.
its
He took
head,
the VHS video. Here's
Right.
this deer shaking off some.
and they fall off.
You could tell that the deer was getting close because he says, "Rick, it's like a deer's having a super bad headache, and he's just trying to relieve the headache, and he starts shaking, and it just."
It's
Right.
almost, and then it's almost like if a tooth comes out of us and the air hits that pocket or whatever. That's the same way a deer is. They're
Gotcha.
kind of like
Just get the hell out.
See,
Yeah.
so
Eventually, you just want to pull the tooth.
Yeah.
You just want to drop
Yeah.
the antler.
So I learned so much from going to Richard's just to take photographs.
Is Richard still alive?
no.
Richard passed away about 2 years ago. Damn, I
Okay.
thought the dude would live to be 110. I mean, at 75, nobody keep up with the man. It'd be nothing for him to hop in his truck and just drive 10 hours one way. He said a couple times, he tried to kill me a few times, as a matter of fact.
But just
So he said he wanted to go look at a deer he might buy for his pen or something. He says, "Come on, Rick, go with me." I said, "Well, where is it?" "Oh, it's just over the hill." 8 hours later, we're still
Just over the hill.
yeah, just over the hill. That was he always said that because they always wanted company and said
Right.
to go with it, and he'd go there and wrestle them deer, and he always said, "Now, of all the wild animals out there, what animal causes the most injury or death to people? What do you think?"
Oh, I'm guessing it's going to be a white-tailed deer. 'cause we're
white-tailed deer.
talking about, 'em. But I wouldn't have guessed that if we
Right.
weren't talking about
I
it.
would
you
say
know
like
why?
a hippo or something
And-
is what I would have guessed.
I would have
but,
probably
yeah.
guessed.
But I'm
hippo,
talking in
lion.
captivity. I guess there's hippos in captivity, but you know why? Because people trust a deer. But a hard antlered deer, they get them. The 2-year-olds aren't that. 1 and 2-year-olds aren't too much. But you gotta be careful. But once a deer gets, they just soon run you through. As to
And the other thing learned from Richard was so he would have breeding pens and it'd be all weedy and grown up and he's going to show you a deer and you go walking into that pen and like you could not find that deer in like a little 4-acre, but he basically, if there was a buck in that pen with a hot doe, Rick will vouch for this. I mean, if they couldn't play the game of of her escaping and getting away, he would just kill her.
absolutely, yeah, just kill them.
So
So if the buck
If-
couldn't play the chase game,
if
he
the chase
killed the
game-
doe.
If the chase game can't happen, he's going to kill her.
If he can, that's why the
you know that?
the doe needs an escape. They
She
need to
needs
have
to be able to run and
from him
escape.
and get away. In the wild, they just run away from him.
Right.
But you get him in that corner, you're done.
Wasn't there something else about the darkness and putting them into? He was putting them in
Rick will tell you about that too.
A doe goes in.
He was showing at fairs.
Yeah, he was showing at fairs while you're in a tent, and it's dark. And if you're there for a 7 or a 10 day fair thing, it's dark. There's no really does that come into heat because That's what. How do you think these big companies that produce all this dough and heat stuff? They have to keep them in darkness all the time because that's when they're coming into.
I mean, we're talking because it's like the shortest days of the year. Is that what we're kind of talking about? Like what?
Loss of daylight, pituitary.
They're orbital glands.
I always
They're
forget this.
orbitals.
Yeah, that's what causes a dough. I mean,
I always
look,
forget.
this
I
was
always forget about that.
This
Joel.
was the biggest misconception. Once a deer rubs out, they're becoming what? This middle of August or what
People's
is it?
already sending me a couple rub out pictures.
Can you believe
already.
that? I can't hardly. See, that's the one thing.
it's
When
kinda
I
early.
had access to live deer, invaluable.
what
As
you
a
can learn.
taxidermist, oh my God, that's when I got. That's when you know from month to month the transformation. He had Squirt, another big. He was.
That's right, Squirt.
Squirt was a 300-pounder, buddy. He was a giant.
Calling
And,
him Squirt.
yeah, that's his name. And I took pictures of him. I would go and I got him in my scrapbook. Every 2 weeks after they would shed, and then once they started that growth cycle, I would go in, and every 2 weeks I would photograph. And you see the progress of deer antlers. Right now, let's see, we're middle of August, pushing September. Even the biggest buck out there has a neck like this. They're just not big.
Yeah.
And then you look at this deer on November 1, and it's this. If they're 5, 6-year-old mature bucks, you know, they just it don't even look like the same deer.
Right.
It's just like that can't even be the transformation they make month to month.
Getting ready for the Arnold Expo.
Exactly. It's not this gland that swells. A buck gets his big neck from
Rubbing on trees.
yeah.
working out,
Absolutely,
man. He's a body. He's getting ready
Yeah.
for the big show. He wants to be the biggest,
Yeah.
the baddest. And if the other deer see him, he's the biggest and the baddest. You ain't gonna mess with him unless he's a young, thinks he can,
Right.
So the biggest, just like the Beatty Buck, never had a November 8th. There wasn't even a nick.
Yeah, he
those
ain't been touched by nobody.
Nobody. Usually by then you're starting to see some scuff marks on antlers.
Yeah.
Who's going? Oh, I'm not messing with that.
Yeah.
You kidding me? You going to go into a bar and pick on a 400-pound bouncer?
No.
Take a leak.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the bathroom too. Sorry. Yep. We're gonna take a break. I'm just like, fuck that. Like, I only care about whitetail. I'm sorry. I don't
Caribou
know
and a
what
moose and
other
a mule deer
animal.
and a-
What other animal? And I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Joel, you've killed elk, you've killed moose, you've killed whitetail, you've trapped, you've done all these things. What are you gonna live and die by?
Whitetail.
I mean, I don't even think it's a competition.
No.
I mean,
Well, that's the most popular game animal in North America. That's the reason.
I think they're the hardest. I see these fucking videos of elk and moose, and they're what? Yeah, oh yeah.
Are we starting now?
Yeah. I mean, we see these videos of elk and moose, and they're fucking lumbering through, and they
So
fucking draw
you
back and shoot
basically-
them. And
you basically, when you go out west, if you find an animal, you can kill it.
You're gonna kill
You
it.
can kill that animal if you find that animal.
I mean, take
that's
it-
not true.
I
That's
will-
not true around.
I will take a guy that is the best elk and the best moose hunter in the world, and I will give him the chance to go and kill a big mature doe or buck, a whitetail, and see how long it takes him, knowing those tactics. You know, where you
Well-
reverse it, and I feel like it's very easy.
I have.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. At
I
all.
mean, the whitetail deer, I mean, a big mature doe will spot you, win you from, however, I mean, you make one mistake and it's over. And I think you see these things lumbering through and these guys go, boop, and shoot them.
Well, I have some books. I have two actually editions of it. Famous trophy rooms from across the world. And they have all these pictures. And you go to these great hunters that hunt the world. They've harvested everything from in Asia, Africa, everything across the world, North America. And you go to their trophy rooms and they're just stacked up with trophy animals, except
A big
Whitetail deer.
whitetail.
a fair chase.
Whitetail
Fair
deer.
chase.
Yeah.
Trophy
Fair
whitetail.
chase trophy whitetail. They have an African lion there, but they don't have a
So I would
fair
say,
chase 180-inch whitetail.
I would say probably the hardest animal because of scarcity and what it does is probably like a mountain lion, but they use dogs to hunt it. If you went out and tried to hunt a mountain lion without dogs,
Right. They
you
tree
know,
him and
they walk
call
up there
you
and
in,
shoot
you
them.
up a tree.
Now, if you went out and tried to like stalk and kill a mountain lion, I'd be like, oh, it's
So-
pretty
so
impressive.
let's-
You probably couldn't do it.
No, you couldn't do it. It would turn around and stalk you, right? It would.
No, not really,
I mean,
because the mountain lions, they believe me, you'll never see them. them.
They're just
You'll
gone. They're
never
just
see 'em.
gone.
They don't
Yeah.
So let's cross a bridge right now.
Yeah.
So he just said what he just said about the trophy rooms and everything. So
I know what you're going to say. Go
You
ahead.
know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
So let's say you own a business, and you have a 190 and 200 incher, and them people from that have those rooms like that they're going to give you $30,000 or $40,000 to come hunt one of those. So you have it dialed in.
Oh.
You make the call. They're going to give you 30 or 40 grand. So do you want that person to come kill that deer, or are you happier with one of your regular Joe clients to go kill that deer?
Are you asking me this question personally?
I'm just asking because that's presented to me all the time. Mm-hmm. Just telling because that's the way it is. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
That's the world we live in.
Yep.
It's,
You don't take the money.
I do not.
Yeah, I would not take the money. I would take my loyal customers over now where I
mean, this is good podcast stuff right now that we're talking about.
because I would not take the money. I would put but I would say if it was a completely different property and we were in the middle of the season and I had no idea this deer was there and it kind of, that's kind of a different story. But if it was something that you were...
But the finding him, knowing he's there, and the person killing it, them are two different...
Yeah.
two completely different things. You
No,
know?
I'm saying to your point, if you had a deer on camera and they're offering you all this money behind the scenes to shoot it, no, I'd say no. I'd say no.
I have a very good friend who's...
I'm same way.
I'm saying no, but
I'd rather a good customer shoot that.
But
deer.
if it's a stranger property, stranger deer, stranger everything, I might. Is that not fair to say?
That's a good answer.
I mean, that's not. Answer. I mean, I might go kill it if it's a stranger. If it's a stranger property, stranger situation, stranger deer, I might go kill it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people with they have money to spend and they go anywhere they want. I mean, I have a client, very good, comes up every year, and he just, oh my God, he has property access to places you can only dream. And he's been to Africa, shoots African lions with his bow. But man, does he love his whitetails. And he'll come in and, he'll come in and I got one kind of where he is. You can hunt him. And not that he's a freaking hell of a bowman, can shoot, and he loves it. And he'll come in and he'll hunt. And he'll shoot he shot a 180 this year. And that's his dream, man. And this guy shoots a lion with his bow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't do anything for me. I mean,
Well,
do you see those videos of? I mean, seriously though. I mean,
I don't know, but they say if it has a great big full mane on it, it's
right.
It's like high fence. A lot of the places
they're
in Africa
mangy looking.
They're mangy looking.
Look, yeah,
if it's in the wild.
If it's a wild lion, I'm thinking it's probably mangy looking.
That is correct.
I'm not a African lion expert like that. But
sorry, guys, I'll be right back.
oh, I don't know.
But Africa can be dangerous. I mean, I know people that have places in the wild and they're getting shot at and stuff. And
right, but high fence. I mean, you got 60,000 acres in a fence.
Correct. Good
I mean,
luck.
Good luck.
I mean, probably more than that in a fence.
It probably.
So it's basically more or less to keep poachers out and stuff than it is to keep.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I know a guy that's going to go this November and hunt an African lion, the one animal. They just got back from a Plains game hunt a couple years ago, and they ended up, while you're here, you might as well shoot this big Cape buffalo, and maybe a giraffe here and there.
Tom was over there, or Tom Miranda was over there for. This is stories from Tom and cameraman and stuff. So he was after a leopard.
Yep.
And he wanted to bow kill a leopard. And the plan was, so they get you because you go over there, and lots of times you have to kill your bait. So they're getting you for a $1,500 fee for your impalas and your this and that. So you're killing. So they're killing baits, and you've seen in Africa the gigantic trees that go up like this and this. So they legitimately had bait hanging on one side of the tree with trail cameras on it, and there were no tree stands over there, so they had tree stands shipped. So they were in tree stands in the same tree. So the tree stands are on this side of the tree, and in the same tree, the bait is hanging on that side of the tree. And they're in the stands in the dark.
In the dark.
In the dark.
You have to be there in the dark.
And you can hear the claws, and next thing you know, my friend telling me, who's the cameraman, he can hear bones crunching.
That's a little intimidating.
And he's on that side of the tree, and they're in this side of the tree, and
Do they have to turn on a light?
so that's the thing. They're sitting there waiting for it to get light, waiting for it to get light, waiting. He's chomping, and so my friend, that's the cameraman, he like, when he thinks it's good enough to probably bow kill, he powers on, and I think then the light from his camera and everything that's on him, his viewfinder, I think spooks the animal out of the tree.
So they never got the shot.
They never didn't get the shot on that.
That's an awesome story, though. That's a pretty intimidating story.
That's a pretty damn intimidating story.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome story.
You're in a tree stand in a tree with the same leopard.
Yeah.
The leopard. I talked to people that hunts leopard. I've talked to them in my shop.
Yeah.
And he said, that's the worst animal you want on you is a leopard. It's 60 stitches a second when they're on you.
And they're big, right?
60 stitches a second.
I didn't hear. That's what you said when you said that.
That's what he said.
Oh.
He said when
That's
they're,
what that-
you know,
he said his friend
a
said.
lion will just swat you and you're dead. You know, if it's a leopard, they just shred you until you're.
A
know.
leopard's like 175 to 225 pounds.
Yeah,
I mean,
big tom.
I mean,
a
they're
big tom
a
leopard
big,
is.
a big male.
I mean,
Big
they're
tom. Yeah,
That's a
220.
giant cat. I mean, my
Oh,
freaking
absolutely.
cat will eat me up. I mean, now we're adding, you see what I'm saying? I just,
Yes, I see what you're saying.
I used to go to the zoo. A friend of mine had a zoo. As a matter of fact, I have a little leopard in my shop. It died in captivity. It's 18 years old, little leopard, 90-pound female.
Didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you've seen it. Anyway, and so I was there, and he had it was a fantastic zoo because you could go there and really study the animals. It wasn't this big zoo where lot of people there, and he had the most fantastic animals you've ever seen. And he told me he had this leopard that died. He also had that Siberian tiger that died years before. Richard brought that tiger over to me, by the way back in the day. Maybe we got to get into that. Oh my God.
Alive or dead?
It was dead because they put it down because he already had tigers in his zoo. This was a Siberian. The Siberian tiger is the largest cat, the Siberians. So this was a 4-year-old male, and they couldn't afford to feed it because they just eat a deer, whatever. And he said, Rick, we're going to put it down, bring it over. I said, well, okay, let's do it.
well, okay.
Yeah, because I was really into it. I didn't have my new build. My building wasn't up or nothing. I was just, So they brought something, and I had a few people over, and Richard pulls in his deer trailer, his show trailer, and that tiger was dead in the back of that trailer. There's people standing around. He opens that door, and there lays a 550-pound Siberian tiger, head on it that wide, and the thing is scary even when it's dead.
550-pound
Siberian,
tiger.
yeah. And at the time, I skinned it out in my garage, and I have it on videotape of skinning this cat out. We did a rug on it.
And what color? What
White.
color was it?
No, it's just a regular colored Siberian. They're orange.
Oh, I thought Siberians were white. Oh,
No.
they're
Those are
not.
just white tigers.
Yeah,
white,
those are.
that's
Aren't those
color
the
thing.
inbred tigers that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
inbred?
that's color.
Siberians are. I thought Siberian tigers were.
This looked just like a Bengal.
Well, they're very similar in color. That orange, the black stripes, orange, and they're not near as striking as say a Bengal.
they look a little duller, right? They
Right.
look a little
They're a little
duller.
faded,
Yeah, a little faded. That's right.
Compared, but there's no mistaking that's an orange tiger with black stripes, and it's just spectacular. That's probably the most spectacular specimen that I've ever seen as far as
150 pounds.
yeah,
There
this
was a
thing
guy, you can look this up. You don't have to look it up, but there was a guy on YouTube that spent 90 days trying to get one picture of a Siberian tiger. I guess they're like really rare or territorial.
Well,
so
especially now.
he had cameras that are on trip sensors, and he was staying up in the mountains, and he was just trying to
I think
get
it's the same thing with those snow leopards.
Snow leopards, yep, very
Well,
rare.
set trail cameras.
I guarantee you
They're just trying to get a picture.
A picture of one.
there are more tigers in captivity than there are on the wild.
Absolutely. Shout out
Today,
Joe
yeah.
Exotic.
more in captivity than there are in the wild.
Yeah, I knew that. I think it's like three
Did you
times
know
or
this?
four times more.
I'll lay another factoid on you. 10,000 years ago, there were more lions on the earth than people. Oh, well, that's just thought I'd throw that out there.
There's more captive lions and tigers in the state of Texas than there are in the entire world.
I believe that. Yeah, captive. Yeah,
It's a true statement.
absolutely.
There's more
I would agree
captive
with that.
lions and tigers in Texas than there are in the entire world.
Yeah.
Look it up. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I feel like that's real.
So the black bucks and all that's in Texas that have been relocated there, they're like thriving in the wild, aren't they? I mean, I think
I don't
the
know what a black
bucks
buck
are
is.
in the wild, and the Gems buck, which is like has the their back end appears higher than their front end.
Yeah. A black buck is just kind of looks like a dark colored antelope.
Yeah, like a dark colored antelope. And I think they're in the like the poor man sheep in Texas, the ibex and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the wild too. I mean, they're people are you got to draw them.
We got.
Thinking.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking at me already.
Yeah.
So going back to deer hunting, I think we're going back to deer
Hang
hunting.
on, actually, I do have one question. Real
What do you
quick.
got? Yeah, go.
Rick? What's the most exotic animal that you've done taxidermy on? Besides, I don't know if maybe the Siberian tiger is the most.
Well,
but
that would be the most exotic, most probably, even though the whitetail's like the animal, but as far as the exotic, I never got in. I've done some exotic in the earlier days. I would do some of the rams, the crazy looking rams,
Have you done a Mongolian, or have you done a?
Yeah, I've done a few of those earlier, but as far as the exotics goes, first I never pushed it that much, but I would, when I was trying to build a business and getting work, I would, I'll try that.
Were these like
And
people
they're-
bringing them from Africa? Or?
No, they were usually shot on hunt, these canned hunts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'd bring them in, but definitely the Siberian would be the most. That thing was just,
Was it a full body?
yeah. He brought the whole.
He did a
body
rug.
over. I did.
Oh, you did a rug. That's
did-
right.
I
That's
did-
right.
I
You
did-
said
I did
that.
a
You
rug
said
on
that.
it.
I'm sorry, Rick. You
Yeah,
said
that's all
that.
right. I did the rug, which is, but just to see that thing, and it took several of us to roll the thing around.
Did you ever do anything from like a giraffe or anything from Africa?
Oh
Anybody
yeah,
do-
I've done African stuff.
Oh, you done African
yeah, I've done.
stuff.
I'm sorry, I have a hard time with that giraffe thing.
It's no, it's all stupid.
Huh?
It's all stupid.
Could you shoot a giraffe?
No, I would just want to pet it.
Same.
I'd want to walk up
mean,
and pet it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
have
just
no
don't-
interest in it.
African
could
stuff is such a pain to do because I don't push. I've done a few.
I-
I've done probably 20 African animals in my life. But
What's the legality of that, Rick? How
well,
do they
have
bring
to get
them back
dude,
over?
it goes through a big process.
Does
I won't
it?
go into a great detail. It's got to go through
Customs.
customs and all that stuff.
how do they preserve the animal as it's in transport?
They're
Or the
the
skin, the
skins.
skin,
Yeah,
the
well, their
skin.
skins are tanned and dried.
Oh, they do the tanning and the drying.
Well, not tanned, not so much, but they'll
Been
preserve the skin,
preserved.
salted or however
Okay.
they do them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So one day I have a good friend of mine. Anyway, a good client, big company. We were all at that lunch once. He goes,
I know
"Hey,
exactly who you're
you know
talking
who I'm
about."
talking about." And they've been to Africa several times. I've been to their death house. It's a big.
Did you call it a death house?
Well, that's what they called it. I would.
It's a warehouse.
It's a warehouse full of animals, and this has been a long time.
it's probably still in crates.
It might be. It might be, but I got to go there and used to see the stuff. They had the giraffes, and they had.
So they just went around and killed a bunch of shit.
Well, this person been to Africa.
I'll tell you later, who.
20 times in his life. He goes, sometime. Yeah, I do all their local stuff, the whitetails. I've been doing their stuff for 25 years. And they, hey, yeah, Rick, I'll send you some African stuff sometime. And I just blew it off as, Okay, yeah, well, that's fine. Then I'll do it for you. So I forgot all about it. And then one day, sometime later, 6 to 8 months later, there's a semi out front of outside of my house, and my shop's in the back there. And the semi's out there parking. And he comes in, I got something for He goes, what the hell is this? And I go to the back, and he's unloading these crates of all these and all these horns, eland, kudu,
Ibex,
kudu, wildebeest, he had all the horns. I said, what? And sure enough, he'd sent me and these skins look like dried shale. The skins are just for one thing, African animals, they don't grow any hair.
Right.
It's
all skin.
It's this. Well, the hair is this long.
Yeah.
It just they're very hard.
of the heat.
The heat. Yeah, right. They're not going to grow a winter cape in Africa, but it's much more difficult to work with because it's unforgiving. There's no hair to cover any mistakes.
Oh, you're talking about me. You're saying I'm African?
Oh Lord.
Jeez. Anyway, how do we get off on that? Africa
No, I think it was a great. I asked about how they brought him back. What were you were going to bring something up? Sorry, Joel. I was just making a joke.
So yeah, exotics. I guess African stuff. It's not really exotic, but it's just African game, plains game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also want to jump back to Corey's statement about tigers and lions in Texas.
Yep.
Oh my.
That is a false statement.
Okay. What is it?
Well, it says no, Texas does not have more exotic / captive lions or tigers than worldwide. Wild count today is about 5,074 tigers and roughly between 22,000 and 25,000 lions globally.
Maybe it's in the United States. Maybe
I don't know. I don't know if they're also talking maybe because a lot of Texan slang is like when they say lions is like the mountain lions and everything combined.
You're not going to have African lions in Texas.
Mine was captive versus wild. So they might be counting captive like high fence in Africa or something. But I heard a really wild statement one time that was like captive lions or tigers made up either in Texas more than what was wild and, all over the world or whatever. But, whatever. Maybe I'm just flat out wrong. I feel like I got it from Joe Exotic, the Netflix documentary. That's how I knew it was they said that about Texas or something.
Gotta be right. Gotta be right.
That's Joel's nudge at me calling him bald. Can you grab those antlers? Those freaking 25-pound antlers off the...
Yeah, sure.
Jesus. Let's pull those up. I want to...
Well, I got 4. I'll get...
Kind of
we can just set them all up on the count.
Yeah,
set them all up
yeah,
on
we're
the
going to
table.
throw them up here. Throw them up here, Rick. Jeez. Listen to him thud around. Wow. So what's the...
I know people have bigger sheds than that around. Just I've had these for so long, and they're pretty cool. Why did you mount those? I just like handing them to people and say, "Man, hold that."
So Rick, is this? Can you do Rick's camera? Can you do Rick's camera and show that? Can you see that, Chris?
That guy had a headache after that.
What is that? Is that?
It's just what happened to that deer.
I mean,
that's just how that came out. This is
that
more
his
typical
skull?
of what you see. That's part of the skull. Yeah. I remember seeing Richard's deer after they shed. You think that deer's going to bleed to death. Great big holes in the top of their head, bleeding, and it scabs over right away,
That's typical. That other one is
yeah,
normal.
This is so.
This is
What is
more-
what is the mass on that? What is that?
You know what? I can tell you
that has to be about...
the mass on that's probably 6.5 out here, pushing 7 on the base probably.
That's
I was thinking more than that.
No, that's 6.5 to 7, and
Yeah.
that's probably 7 or 8.
Yeah. But
I mean, if you have an 8-pointer that's knocking on 40, that's crazy.
that's crazy because you
Yeah.
usually
You
lose
lose
that.
one.
So
You don't lose it. It just
I mean, you
it
get
just
it,
ticks
but
out.
ticks
It
out,
ticks out.
yeah.
towards
So
it.
Rick, going back to what you talked about, I hope you're still on Rick's camera. Going back to what you talked about, this is that figure 8 design, right?
It is. Let's see. You got a 1. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably a G4 here. Probably, I don't really care. And it's got some, there's some rules and regulations you'll follow as far as mass. You wouldn't necessarily take that as a mass measurement, but who cares?
Because that's what gets you with that with that common base thing. If you're calling it a tine, you also then is going to be a mass measurement between them, which can be huge.
Okay, so some of them, I think, when you have something like this, is not necessarily a circumference measurement. This is obviously, and you wouldn't necessarily. This is
If you're calling it a tine, it is.
Well, this. I'm telling you, Buckmasters calls this circumference measurement is the same as that when you have something like that. That's not a circumference. You get a circumference, but you have to take this measurement here because you got this palmated web.
But yet
it's kinda
that's considered a G4.
This is a G4, and
But they don't give you a mass measurement there.
not on this because of this palmation. In other words, if it was palmated way up here, you can't go all the way around that and call that a mass measurement. So they're going to say whatever this is, say it's 6. This is 6 too.
Can I do
6 also.
Can I do something with
Got
these?
it.
Absolutely, hold them up.
I just want to.
Got it.
I just kind of wanted to.
That's going to scare everything away.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Say,
You can't even rattle with those. I mean,
Oh, hey, you know how we were talking earlier about measurements and stuff while you got that in your hand?
Do it again.
Hold that up.
Do the test what you did to me.
Look at, okay, here we go. These two here.
Which way, Chris?
Yours go that way
Which way?
This way.
towards Rick.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Like that. So like that.
towards Rick.
Just bring your whole arm towards Rick. Just
Yep.
a touch. There we go.
Okay, this is off the same deer, by the way. This is his left side. This was the year earlier, the year previous, and the next year he grew this. Now,
So what was your question to me, Rick?
which one do you like better? Is
The one I'm holding.
Which one is more impressive visually to you?
The one I'm holding.
Well, I've never talked to anyone that did not disagree with you.
Yep.
But wait a minute. The score is higher. This one. But this is visually more impressive. And that's my point. I mean, to me.
It's 100% visually more impressive.
It's
My
visually
fucking arm's
better.
getting tired
Yeah.
holding that thing.
And not that this is heavy as hell too, but he puts on a 1/2 inch in mass here, and it just the way it's shaped, the way it's looked. But this one scores probably 7 or 8 inches more than that as far on a score sheet.
So what's the story with this buck, Rick?
Dude,
What
just guy came in with big sheds one time, and I had to have him.
So I mean, he knew this buck. He knew this buck, and then he got the sheds again. He never killed the buck.
Yeah, the deer was never killed that I know of.
And this was the same year sheds.
Yeah,
right?
that's the matching sheds right there, and they would be on a deer's head about like that right there.
About like that right there.
About right there, about 3 inches. You know, it's not particularly wide, but so.
Oh, God.
Who cares? It's so.
my God.
So massive.
Could you imagine if you saw this in the woods?
Yeah. Again, if that number on that score on that deer wouldn't blow you away.
Would not blow you away.
But man, look at it. Just look at it. And this is the year previous on the one side. The other side was never found. This is one of my most favorite shed. Oh, you guys will like this.
Oh, I got a question for you,
What?
Rick, real
What?
quick. What did that buck score? Did you ever score that?
yeah, who cares?
No, I mean,
You know what? I
back to
probably
that-
I'm
did.
sorry. What was the measurement of that bucker? I do want to know,
was-
just because it's so.
They're
I think
probably both around 80 inches each.
80 inches each.
Something like that. I don't really remember to tell you.
So he's like a 175 with spread. I mean, right? Is that about right?
I mean, 80. No, he's like probably in the like 162,
Yeah,
163 plus
180
fed.
each, and then you add spread, right?
I have a buck in my showroom.
160 plus 15 inches of spread is
Right.
175.
Right. Yep.
What'd I say?
You said 180.
Oh,
something.
sorry.
I have a buck in my showroom. It's only 163 inches. Okay, it's a 4x4, and the fours out there on the one side is 2 inches, 3 inches maybe. But the brow tines are 14 and 5/8.
The brows are. I love freaking big brows.
The brows are what?
14 and 5/8. Probably.
Dude, we have big brows here.
But
We have
you can
big
find
brows
them.
here.
But I mean, I haven't looked at every record book or every score sheet. But find me longer ones, guys. If you know of longer.
What is
brow
what
tines.
is that right
That's
there?
right at 13.
13. Wow.
Yeah, that's right at 13. That's really long for
I mean, so I want to know the measurements. I'm going to renege on what I had said earlier. I want to know the measurements when you have something very unique like this. You know, I kind of want to know measurements when I see something like that. Because
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I
don't
can't
blame
even
you.
guess at that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
even be able to guess at what something like that
I mean,
measures.
whenever they're so long that they have a wave in them, that's when I like
that's
them.
when you know you're
Yeah,
getting.
that's when I like
You
them.
like the wave?
Yeah, I
You
like,
like
the
a little
wave.
You got something that long that waves?
Yeah, I do.
God. All right.
I mean, a horn.
Hey, and thanks
yes.
for joining us tonight. We're gonna.
I'm on my third glass.
Can I tell you a real quick story about these?
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw this deer when he had it. This deer was wearing that when I saw him.
You saw it
I saw him
with
when he
a
had it. Yeah, this is Miami County buck.
that G4 is awesome. I love that G4.
Yeah,
with that curve.
1990. It's 19, not 8. It's 19. Quick, Rick. 19.
Oh, that was the.
Oh, that
was
was,
that a roadkill?
No, 2005. 2005.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. No, it was 1995. 1994. This deer is from 1994. Okay. So anyway, I saw this deer. He was in my hunting area, and in 1994, I saw this deer. I was leaving the tree stand, and this deer was standing out in the field at 75 yards, 11 a.m. in the morning with a doe. Bright sunshine. Can you imagine? And the other side matched, perfectly matched. Okay, it's just a perfect 10-pointer. It's one of the most beautiful 10-pointers you've
About
ever
a
seen.
perfect
Yeah, it's
10-pointer.
Yeah,
man.
it's just
Holy
gorgeous.
Shit.
Okay, the very next year, in 1995, a guy by the name of Dale Bevington shot the deer during muzzleloading season. Okay, and it shot it with a muzzleloader, and it stood as the Ohio state record typical muzzleloader from 1995 to 2005. I mounted the
10
deer.
years.
It stood for 10 years, and the left side of that deer, the kill deer, was 2/8 different than this. 2/8 of an
So
inch.
this is not the kill year. This is the shed, or this, is the
the
year
year
prior.
before.
The year before, and the next year he looked the same. 2/8 difference, and I can't remember which side was bigger. And it was just a most beautiful, typical. It netted. Of course, we netted it for Boone and Crockett. It was 188 and change on the net. It grows in the low 190s as a typical 5x5, clean 5x5. So anyway, a guy came in my shop one day and had this shed. Okay, I said, God dang it, I was into collecting, getting what I was nuts,
Yeah.
crazy. I had to get road kills and whatever. Anyway, I ended up getting it off of them, and because it's just like it means something. It's personal.
So
it's
you
hard.
saw that horn.
Yeah, I saw it on the deer. So I'm thinking, man, I should 75 yards out there. Maybe I should just fling one. He's looking at me. It's I mean, I'm not going to do it, but anyway. So he kills the deer the next year. It's the state record muzzleloader typical for 10 years. It stood for 10 years. Guy comes in and says, man, I kind of got to have it. So I ended up getting it from him because it meant more to me than him. But anyway, I got this real solid end table where I just take it and I just lay it down on it. So I took this antler, I set it down like this. Now watch this. Chris, you got this? Mm-hmm. Watch this. Let it go like that for a minute.
Oh, it just keeps going.
It moves for once over a minute. I've timed it for over a minute. It still moves.
Is that because it's balanced,
Just
or
the way it's shaped.
or just because
It's
of the
just
shape?
the way it. So I
That is crazy.
yeah. If you time it, it has to be a real solid base, real solid. And I just set it down and didn't think about it.
And it just kept moving.
It kept moving like that. And like a minute later, I look back and the damn thing is still rocking.
moving.
It kind of reminds you of like the marbles that you pull from each
Yes, they
end.
go
They kind of
dunk.
bang and
Yeah.
bang.
So isn't that just the coolest thing you've ever
That's
seen?
cool as shit.
Yeah.
Man, that is a hell of a 10-pointer, man.
And it's not okay. We talked about scoring all night and all day, all this
Measurements.
measurement, blah, blah, blah. What's this measure? I did measure it officially. It's in the Buckmasters
I wasn't even going to ask.
That one horn?
because they have a shed category.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm. You
yeah.
can enter sheds.
I didn't know that. Is that just Buckmasters?
Just
or
Buckmasters.
Just
Yep.
Buckmasters.
Yep. They have a shed category or pickup or they're shed category.
I mean, that is a
Everybody send in your entry for big prizes.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking.
He's adding up in his head.
Hey, Joel, always go with your first instinct.
Yeah.
Don't
My
overthink
first
it.
instinct is
Just that shed.
82.
I was going to guess 77.
86 5/8.
86 and 5/8. I was under. You were right there, Joel.
You're right there.
86 and 5/8.
It's
Which is
a beautiful freaking shed.
Yes, it
It
is.
is absolutely beautiful. So the guy
So,
killed
so
it the
you
next
remember
year.
you remember we had the Brian Stevens here last week.
Yep.
His right side, 5 side, just for comparisons or
Yeah.
his 5 side. This is 86 and 5/8. His 5 side typical on the right side is 99 and 7/8
100.
on the 5 side. Officially 99
with
and
one bone.
typical on the 5 typical. 99 and 7/8. You showed me 100-inch typical one side. Show them to me. It's crazy. It's just rare as hell.
Yeah, I'd
You
say
don't
it's
see
in
it.
the top 0.1%.
Oh, easily.
Top 0.1%, I would think. If you break 100,
0.01,
you think 0.01?
I would say. Yeah, you just don't see them.
So other gifts that you brought, Rick.
Well,
why
this is crazy.
Why did you bring this guy?
Well, this, first of all, we're interested in the skull. This is just an extra set of little antlers that I had. I just attached it to the skull plate, but this has probably been maybe 20 years ago. I'm sitting there, a guy brings in a deer. It's like a 130 class 5x5. I'm skinning it out, and I'm skinning down the muzzle, and all of a sudden my knife blade, click, click, click. I'm hitting something in the skull. What is this? I kind of had a thought of what it might be. Anyway, I skinned it out and I opened it up, and there it is. I don't know if you see it. This is a broadhead inside that muzzle.
Spin it just a little bit more towards Corey.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, but I probably can't get it on camera, but the whole broadhead is intact inside that muzzle.
Kind of aim it towards that camera. You might be able to see.
Yeah,
it.
you might be able to see down the nose because we're zoomed in pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you see?
And the neat thing about this was it wasn't shot. That arrow was not in there that season. It was the previous season.
So that deer had lived a year with that broadhead.
At least a year with that broadhead, and that was one of those Spitfires expandables, right? And it went in there, and it caused 3 holes, three of those slices in that bone. Well, what happened was that all healed, that all fused back together, that bone, and there's a little tip, but that whole broadhead is intact.
And that deer didn't look like anything abnormal when he brought it in and he killed it.
Just looked absolutely normal. No,
Completely healed over. You couldn't
completely
see it.
healed over. I mean, skin was over the end of that, broadhead.
yeah.
It was just like, how do they do
Tough
it?
some bitches now.
I mean, right in the nasal cavity.
I mean,
Yeah.
And you could see from the angle, it was from a tree stand, right?
I would have went home crying to mama and never recovered from that.
Yeah.
I shot this deer in the nose. I had a guy one time bring in a shotgun kill, and he was in my driveway, and just a big buck, big monster, and it got a hole right in the side, right below the eye, a big slug hole. In this side and out the other, just, okay, I got to mount that. All right, I'm going to mess with that. He says, that's a hell of a shot, wasn't it, Rick? I said, yeah, if that's where you were aiming.
And that's where that guy shot it.
That's where
Just
he
right
hit it.
through
He goes,
the-
that's a hell of a shot. And I said, yeah, if you were aiming
That's
for
where
that.
you were
Did he
aiming.
claim
That's-
to? Did he claim?
He goes,
to,
that was a hell of a shot. And I said, well, if you were aiming right there, that was a hell of
Did
a
he
shot.
claim to aim there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hell no, he's popping shots
Yeah.
off at that deer.
Just
Got
trying to make
lucky.
it happen. So, Rick, I have a kind of a unique question
Okay.
to ask you. Do you, and we kind of asked Joel this question about his business last episode. Chris actually did. Do you foresee taxidermy changing over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Do you see anything happening? Do you see it becoming we talked about like electricians and plumbers and stuff. Do you see it become more needed? Do you see it
absolutely.
changing in diversity or not becoming?
Well, every year there's new technologies and new products like any business. I mean, look at the bows today.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what they come up with and better ways to do certain things,
But how much has taxidermy changed in the
changed.
last 30 years?
It's changed. 40 years. It's just, just the quality of the products you get. It's fantastic. As far as the need for it, there's a demand for it you can't believe right now, but there's not a lot of people doing it. It seems like guys like me that are full-time solo guys, and I've had various help over the years, but you come in my shop, you see all these antlers and all this stuff, and it's such a microscopic pinhead size of what's out there today. I've been to some of the biggest studios in the country. My wife, Carla.
You went to Michigan, didn't you?
We
to
were
your
up-
tannery.
We were up in Michigan, and we had a little vacation up at my friend's cabin. Has a cabin up there. Well, I had to pick something off at the wildlife gallery there in Michigan.
Yep.
Never been there, but I've done business with their tannery and a taxidermy outfit, and I've heard a lot about it, but never got to see it in person. So on the way back, I have to pick up this something they did for me, some tanning thing. So we're going to stop by, and I call ahead. Oh yeah, come in the side door. We'll be waiting for you. Oh, I go in there. And they really treated me like, oh, hey, I follow you, man. They were like my stuff. Not anybody can just go in there and get a tour,
Right.
But I was so glad. You ever go somewhere in your life and you see something so unbelievable? You're by yourself, say, and you see it, and it goes, I can't believe that. I wish X was here with me, or this person was here to see this, because when I get back and try to explain what I just saw, they're just, oh yeah,
and it's
whatever.
like you were invited and asked, and it's not like you wanted to pull out your camera, your phone, and start taking pictures and everything. You just
Right.
wanted to act like, yeah, that's nice, that's
right.
cool.
So yeah, this is really something. So and I'm so glad she was with me to see it, and she's been around it her whole life. She's
Right.
she's seen about everything, and she was this is unbelievable. But what's here? So you go to the tannery. I have the fleshing wheel in the back, the little motor rotary rifle do skins there. I walk in there, and there's 30 of those wheels, fleshing machines, and there's guys standing there fleshing deer skin or any kind of skin. There's 30 of them.
So it was
and
like
they stand there 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they
The guy that hunted here used to work there.
So it was like a corporate
Right.
taxidermy place.
Oh
It
my
was
God!
like-
This was a tannery. This was the tannery.
okay.
They also have 20 minutes away. There's their taxidermy studio. Well, I got the tour of the tannery, and it's something. If you're into any kind of wild deer hunting or anything, it's something everybody should see, because you cannot fathom the amount of every animal in the world
Was being tanned there.
It's there. They have 30 life-size bison in storage. People are getting mounted or going through the tannery. Bears, just the most spectacular brown bears, polar, just anything you can think of. It was there being processed. And my friend Jesse, he takes me over to this huge vat, the pickle bath. That's an acid bath.
I was going to say, what's their tanning process? What do they?
It's the same as mine.
Yeah.
It's basically the same procedure. It's basically the same.
How long does it take to tan an animal?
Well, I'll tell you that, but I go in there, and he says, come over and check this out. And there's big, if you ever see one of the big road tiles about 15 feet around the diameter and thing.
Yep.
And then they've got all these skins floating around. He pulls out this alligator, about 12-foot alligator, and the whole alligator, the skin is going through the tanning process. And these drums, these pickle drums, see, all hides have to be pickled. It's a part of the leathering process. Okay, so they go through these tumblers with acid bath in it, and it's pickling the hide to accept the tanning procedure. We're making leather. We're making leather. Okay, that's what an animal
So
skin
it
is.
basically should look like deer skin. It should look like gloves on the on the
Yeah,
backside.
but the only thing is when you're doing taxidermy, you leave the hair on the skin, right? You know what taxidermy means, by the way? I'm
No.
going to say this. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Taxi, what's that mean? First of all, I hate the word tax.
Transport.
Yeah, I was going to say taxis, transportation.
Transport. What's the second part of the word?
Dermy. I'm thinking like dermatologist.
There you go.
Did I get it?
What's that have to do with?
It has nothing to do with anything. I don't
Yeah, it
think.
does. Skin.
Oh, skin. Oh, yeah. There we go. Skin.
Your skin.
But what is
Taxi.
so transportation of skin?
You're moving skin.
You're transporting skin.
So when you get a skin on a styrofoam mannequin, you move it. Taxidermist. Move skin. Ugh. That's what that means. So
I don't think that's a good name for it.
I hate it. Who likes taxes?
I don't think that's
I'm
a
a
good
taxidermist.
name for
What the
it.
hell? That's a
I
negative.
never thought about
that's
that.
a negative
I don't think
connotation.
that's a good name.
No, because when you think about it, actual taxidermy is such a small percentage of what we do. Really, It's really not, you know. I mean, well, yeah, you have to. When you put skin on a mannequin, it just doesn't fall into place. You got to know where to put it. You got to know where things. You got that ear butt can't be a half an inch too low on the head, and you got to know how things move and blah blah.
Right.
Blah. But anyway, that's where the word comes. Anyway, these skins tumble around in these drums, and each drum holds probably 60 to 90 skins, right? And all they do 24 hours a day is spin. Guess what? There's 60 drums.
And they're holding how many skins?
60 to 90 skins, every one of them.
So they're doing like 4,000 skins per how long's that process?
Well, a pickling procedure normally takes, I mean, when I do it, they're around 3 to 4 days.
So they just
the
make their own motors and belts and everything.
Yeah, and they got two drums, probably as high as the ceiling.
And what do they use to absorb fat? What do they have? The corn cobs or the
Well, that's in the finishing
sawdust or
procedure.
that's in the finishing.
That's in the finishing procedure. You know, the fleshing, the raw fleshing, the salting, then the pickling, then the shaving on the blades when they shave skins and all this.
Yep.
They thin the skins for taxidermy.
I mean, that's 200,000 skins a year.
Yeah, I believe that, and that's just
200,000 skins a year is what that
Corey,
is.
that's just one studio in this country, and there's I don't know dozens.
Wow.
So
They're one of the big ones.
they're one of the big
one of
ones
the
for
big
sure.
ones. Yep.
And then from there we go to the taxidermy studio, and here's me, you know.
You
Rick,
did. I did
I'm
see
gonna say-
pictures from the taxidermy studio.
Can't even freaking.
So I mean, there's like how many guys in there doing?
They got
taxidermy?
12 full-time taxidermists,
And I mean, are these guys?
and then there's finishing departments, habitat department, everything custom. I
Yeah,
went
where
in
they're
there,
building the.
and they had two. They showed me coming here. This is getting ready to go to the ATA show for display. You know, ATA show in Memphis, I think it was. They had two of the biggest brown bears I've ever seen in my life. And it's all custom mounted. The bases are all custom made. And I looked at his name was Travis, and I said, Travis, I said, man, that piece right there, that's with the bear mounted on it, and there's salmon swimming underneath the water there. It's just, I said, that whole piece has got to be 30. He goes, that's just the base, Rick.
30,000.
Yeah.
So I mean,
for the base
That's for the base. I mean, it was a hell of a base. Don't get me wrong. All custom walnut. It was
and fish swimming in
fish
the water.
swimming in it. He goes,
yeah.
you know, those replica salmon. They're $1,400 a piece, and there's 5 of them swimming there. You know, so I mean, and it's all custom made. It's real, truly pieces of art. That's art to me. Yeah, that's art. You know, that's composition.
awesome.
That's design. That's laid out. That's
awesome.
emotional. That's a piece.
I didn't know there was places like that. I didn't know there's places like that existed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. People don't. That's why I'm so glad Carla was with me, so she could see it. He goes, well, I knew it was kind of like this, but I had no idea. I said, I know you didn't because I didn't.
So I'm guessing those are like the tanning side of it. They're like taxidermists all over the United States that send their skins in,
Absolutely.
Yes, they
and then
do.
they get them back,
yeah.
and then because they're not doing their own tanning.
They do all my big stuff. Joel's elk was tanned by the wildlife.
So they're
it's still sitting there.
So they're commercial tanning.
Yeah,
and then
commercial tanning.
they're
I don't do I tan my own whitetails at my shop.
Right.
But the big stuff, like he shoots these giant freaking elk
Yeah.
and moose.
Or a moose.
Or a
Yeah,
moose.
some moose go there.
And, you know, I would never handle that myself.
do,
It
you,
goes,
do you send bear out to get tanned? I mean,
when I was doing them,
bear.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
would never, God, no way. No way.
So I mean, of the taxidermists that are there, the 12 taxidermists that are there, are they like of a high caliber?
Hell yes.
These guys are like of
my God,
some of the
yes.
best of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like I'm sure it's for profit, but I was just in my head imagining like crank.
I mean,
crank,
and they
crank,
probably
crank.
have.
Well, all of them are different levels, and you come in at a certain level. Let's say I'm sure I could learn something from them. I know I could, you know.
Right.
But you know, they would take in their turnovers like any place else. People come and go all the time, but you know, once you get good at taxidermy, that's what you do. But other areas, you know, there's turnover. Like
Yeah.
any other business, they come
And
and
that's
go.
not to say they probably have their own truck, or they truck it everywhere.
They
Right.
truck
The United
it.
States.
All those stuff.
Everything gets delivered.
I went back to the taxidermy stuff. You just can't even wrap your mind.
I mean,
around
that's
all
got to
those
be like a
pieces.
$50 million a year business.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I mean, 25.
all
I
these-
mean,
I mean, they deliver and
How
sell.
how much does it cost to tan a skin? Just tan a skin.
If I was to say, oh, I need to tan this, and it's gone. The cost of stuff is.
I mean, is
stupid.
a whitetail 250 or 300?
No, it's not even that much. But just the labor you might have, and I haven't priced one because I just do it myself. I would say probably the cost of a whitetail wet tanned skin for a shoulder mount is probably around $150. But before you send it there, you have to get that. I have to salt. You have to flesh and salt it, dry it, box it, ship it at your expense, then ship it back. So before I even open a box from a whitetail skin I sent up there, I got $300 in it. One deer. That's
Yeah.
just the cost of them, tanning a white. That's probably what it is around.
Is there? I mean, tanning wise, that's $2 million. I mean, just them tanning, that's $2 million.
We got 40 employees there.
Yeah, I mean, that's not their not their taxidermy or their art that they're doing. I mean, I would think they're probably a $10-15 million a year company.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
And when they're pulling into your house, I mean, I don't think they're just setting it off. I think they probably are doing it,
Mounting it,
They're
doing it all.
Yeah.
No, well, my friend Buck, right there in
Yes.
Houston. I've seen he has shot 2 Boone and Crockett Kodiaks. Okay, and when he had them delivered out in Reno had them done out in Reno, at least one of them, and a life-size moose. Well, they bring it once it's done. They just bring it over in semi, and then they take it to his house. And they set it all up.
Yeah, they do it all.
They don't drop it off your door.
No,
Here
they
you
don't
go.
drop it off
no,
at
it's
your
all
door.
set up. It's all set up. Yeah, absolutely. And some of these big trophy rooms, hell, they got mountains in some of these rooms. Artificial mountain in the room.
Yeah.
The rooms are so big.
I've
and
seen
Right, they
them.
like little cabelases.
They're small Cabela's.
yeah, and then and on the mountains they got the four sheep,
4 sheep.
the Grand Slam,
mean,
the doll, the stone, the
I
Rocky.
got $500,000 just in the hunts
Yeah,
of that.
it just people love guys love their hunting, and they just, people, it's just, and like what I have, there's such a, you come in, you see all this stuff, and you go, it's just nothing.
Small piece of the
It's
pie.
a small
Yeah,
piece.
small
It
piece
really
of
is
the
a
pie.
small piece. But
So, Rick, I mean, what are the? I mean, you're getting down to the point. What's the future of Rick Busse and taxidermy?
well,
look
I've been
like?
doing this 43 years, and I kind of call myself kind of heartbroken. I'm kind of like semi-retired, I guess you could call it. And Joel had a bunch of work for me last year. I was so full, first time in my career, and it's kind of depressing in a way. I just couldn't do them. I said, I am so full because 23, I'm so backed up from the previous year, and I hate that. I don't want to go through that anxiety. I don't want to tell a guy 18 months for a deer head. Are you kidding?
Rick's looking to slow down mode. I mean,
Are you looking
he
to
don't
slow
know,
down,
He
Rick?
don't know how that is or how
don't.
that happens or what.
Would
I don't know.
you
hard to do.
recommend? Would you recommend somebody going into the taxidermy business?
Hell yeah, I would. If they wanted to,
No,
you know what?
no,
I would
no,
tell them,
I'm not
don't
talking-
make hay. I said, you can make some money, just don't do anything that I did.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about from a money standpoint. I'm talking about from a mental standpoint. I'm talking about from a happiness standpoint. I'm talking about from a love of life standpoint.
I chose what I wanted to do back then. It was my decision. I invented this. I said, I'm going to try this nonsense because I
Yeah.
made the obvious leap from music to taxidermy.
Yeah.
Right, it's obvious.
right.
Yeah. So, but I went in. There was, nothing was going to stop me.
I mean, if somebody's sitting here right now, would you recommend it to them?
Well, is it in there? Look, you don't go into taxidermy thinking, "Hey, I need a job. What can I think?
No.
What can
Yeah.
I do?"
No.
You can't do that.
No.
You know, I think I'll try tax. No.
What are the attributes of somebody that would go into taxidermy? They got to be artistic. They got to have a love for animals. They got to have an attention for detail.
Well, yeah, you do. You got to have a. If there was no such thing as a white-tailed deer, I wouldn't be a taxidermist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ditto, there would be no
Just
five-star
like
outfitters.
Joel. Just like
if-
Joel.
if
Joel.
it wasn't
Me and Joel
white-tailed
are the
deer.
same.
We are the same.
And
Yes,
it's just
we
like
are.
he has the passion, and just like Richard, hunters, they have such a drive and such an admiration. Not that I don't appreciate a beautiful 3-year-old, fully plumed male Drake wood duck. It's spectacular. Or if you never saw a pheasant, a big rooster pheasant in your life, and you see a 3, you think that's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
Right.
If you never knew what they look like, or even bass. We love to bass fish too. I always wanted get a 6-pounder and get it mounted, mount it for myself. But man,
Yeah, but
white-tailed deer,
I
man.
guess to say that if you're just looking for a career and you're thinking that taxidermy is going to be funneled, I mean, I think that the love of the animals and the love of that funneled somebody towards. I mean, towards
Yeah.
is what I would say.
Yeah, well,
Something
know,
like that. Yeah.
look at him. He's hunted his whole life, but he knew once he got into this business, that ain't gonna.
Yeah,
Dude,
you don't hunt a whole lot.
just like me,
anymore, So,
I mean,
Rick, I mean,
November, we used to hunt together a few
We
times. We
did.
killed a deer the same day, didn't we? In the
we
same
did.
woods.
Yep.
We killed a deer the same day in the
Yeah.
same woods, and it was like. But it's November, and you're building a business. You're trying to make it in life, and you want to build. And God, if you knew how many mistakes I made, we wouldn't even be talking. You'd say, "Get the hell out of here, Busse! You dumb shit. You mean Christmas? Are you nuts?" It's just But
Yeah.
I just.
But it's been a great life, has it not?
It,
It's
you,
been
you
a
know,
great life.
everything I have is I chose to do it really. So I can't really. I'm blessed. I'm blessed with a great family, great married life, kids. You couldn't ask for anything better. Joel can tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
How many hours a day are you putting in towards your work?
See, I went part time. I'm only working 55 hours a week now.
Only working 55 hours a week now.
He probably, I mean,
No,
whenever.
no.
So I know that Rick has a bathroom in his shop.
Oh.
And when I go in there, his clothes, his toothbrush, his everything is in his bathroom.
You know what I got? I can't believe you brought that. You know Joel's background. He used to be HVAC and plumbing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
we were buddies way back in the day. I was building the building. You remember that?
Yep.
And I'm going, this is way too much money. I have money, really. I'm building a business. I was, struggling. I'm building this building. And I told Joel, I said, Joel, the shop's not that far from the house. I just don't really need a bathroom or a shower out here. He goes, I'm putting in a bathroom for you, Rick. I am putting in that bathroom. I said, okay.
how much do
And
you
at the
use that
time, it was
damn
like
right?
$4,000 at the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Best investment ever.
That was like, before today or whatever it would be. He talked me. He talked me. And you know what else he talked me into? He goes, Joel, I said, I really need air conditioning out here. I could just put those little air conditioners in the window,
Yeah.
It'd be fine. He goes, Rick, you're getting central air.
I forgot all that.
You
I
did.
forgot all that.
You
Yeah.
did. You did.
So
And obviously I needed a furnace, I guess. He put that in too at the time. But that building's been there damn near 30
Yeah.
years.
right.
30 years, man. Going on and not
So
quite
there's
30.
times I think there's a bed in there, that he kind of just sleeps
Well,
out
I'll
there.
tell you what, there was a lot of times when I had and they're valuable antlers, man, I wouldn't, we didn't have security systems back then or nothing like that. Man.
Make you a little nervous
I
about
would be
everybody.
nervous back
yeah.
there. I mean, I'm not going to.
Anything weird ever happen? Like, did anybody ever try to do anything slick ever in your career?
No. I've been fortunate, but now I have security. I can read your license plates from the road.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing,
Last question.
Okay.
How many people have you guys introduced each other to? I mean, Ron Lance was one, right? I mean, was Ron Lance not one that
Yes.
Rick?
Yep, Ron was one.
So,
And-
I mean, how did
and
Ron
there's
Lance-
I
others.
think Ron Lance came into my shop. Don't know how the hell he ever found me.
Yeah.
I think he brought me a Canadian deer.
he
shot it up
said
in Canada or
yes. He
something.
always
did.
hunted like Northway Outfitters or something in Canada.
That's right. That was the
Right.
story.
Is that was
But
the story? I guess.
part of the story was he said we ate at Bob Evans together, and that's how you introduced us. Like he said we ate breakfast together, and I don't remember that.
It's hard to remember every little.
I'll tell you,
there's so many people.
But you introduced me to the Chevy boys, so
Yeah.
Who's the Chevy boys?
Well, they're good people.
Yeah.
They're good people. They're
Yeah.
good customers. Great customers. They're probably my number one. God, I used to work for their dad. I've done 50 deer for those people over the years. 50, including a life-size elk.
So,
Had to
Rick,
do it in my garage because I was still in the basement at the time. I couldn't do it I had to do it out in my outside garage.
do you have people that come in and bring you deer that consecutively, year after year, every other year, bring you a nice
Absolutely.
You have like
Absolutely.
what I
When-
would call
when-
secretive hunters, like great hunters that are just not.
I know some really when their name comes up on my phone during
Yeah.
deer season.
You know it's going to be a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Rick, the
It's a good
telltale is, and I've told you this, 10% of the hunters kill 90% of the big deer.
10% of the hunters kill 90% of the big deer.
Yeah.
You have said that, and I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
I mean, I know a lot of.
I mean,
I know of really three people that are absolute pros,
Just smacking 'em.
professional. He's one of them. I mean, if he's dialed in on a deer, or if that deer, you
It's
don't
gonna
like
die.
his odds.
Yeah.
His odds aren't very good, unless the hunter just,
Good luck, Jimmy. Joel's on the deer. Good luck, buddy.
yeah, it's the truth, though.
Well, good.
It's and there's other people that I got other guys that they hunt on their own, and it's a mathematical equation.
Yep.
The deer, a guy called me a few years back, and named Ed. I love it because these guys are so damn passionate about what they do, and
Aren't
that's
they,
why
though?
I love my customers. The customers that come in there, I'm lucky. I don't have to deal with the general public.
no.
Everybody comes in there. They're
General
God-fearing,
public sucks.
God-loving,
Yes.
gun-toting.
They're bringing you their deer.
Yeah, and
Yep.
that's the people I get to.
They're
deal.
good. They're probably all the same person somewhat, right? As far as what they believe in or how they treat people.
He said, and I was with my wife somewhere. I went down in West South Carolina. What's that place there? Hilton Head. He calls me up. He texts me. He says, "Rick, I'm going to opening day. You're going to be there. I'm going to bring one in." And he had him patterned every night. 5 out of the last 6 nights he's here at this time. The wind's going to be perfect. And he shot him at 201, just a giant buck. He brought him in. And man said, well, there's people that do that. You
Yeah.
know, they can do it,
He called and said, will you be there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
will you be there?
I'm
'Cause
gonna
I'm
bring
bringing
you
in this
one.
deer. Yeah. And, did it ethically. I mean, it's all legal. Did it right.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Good,
Good stuff.
ethical hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Rick, you got a couple more pictures there. I don't know if you wanted
Yeah.
to share those.
Oh, well, we did, maybe if I ever come back here, if you guys don't shut down after this podcast because of me.
We're definitely shutting down after this podcast.
Yeah. But
What do you got?
I love photography. I love art
I know
photography.
you do.
And this is just, I just took this off my wall here. This is
Tilt
just,
it up, Chris, or what do we do?
Kind of bring yours this way a little bit.
Like that?
This is just for,
That one boy is a Logan County boy.
I can't, I
Oop,
forget.
don't tilt that.
Hold on, I'll see who's on here. Oh, this
That's
guy.
a Logan County boy.
There's every one of these got fantastic stories. I mean, this picture right here, this is,
Slide it that way just a touch. There we go. Perfect.
Let's just get a quick moment why it's in the frame.
this kid here, Hayden Billing, nice kid.
All Ohio boys on here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
local,
all local.
all local. So
All
this
local.
Hayden's deer, he brought that deer in that morning. I had this deer and another one. They're different, but just as impressive. It was the first day of the gun season, and I had like six or seven deer in the driver. That was the day my helper was sick. He's down with COVID, and I'm there myself, and I'm not feeling that great either. But anyway, long story short, this photo here, man, I said I'm getting a Shelby County deer on the cover of Whitetail with this guy because that's my county. I want to get it on. I want to get that on, and I did. That's a 10 out of 10 for me right here. This photo here, I mean, just everything.
Did you know the boy?
I think I knew him. Yeah, I've done work for him. Yeah.
Okay.
He was a young kid. I mean, he's 22, 3 years old. That's a kid to me, but anyway. But I said, we got to do this one up right. I just love that photo. Everything. I think this little prop in the back is all handmade. The little fence thing, I made that for photos specifically. But that smile and that position, the composition, design, the layout, everything's a 10. And I don't hit 10s that often. Really don't. I really don't. I mean, I might take 1,000 pictures and 5 of them I might love, but this one is one of them. And I did submit it to Gordon. It made the centerfold, but not the cover. It's a 190, low 190s buck, but he's so big, double drops. Come on.
Yeah.
Who cares what the, but anyway. So I love that, just love that photo. This one here, Oh, this is from 23 here. That's a 217. Zach shot that deer. He come out. That was one of my videos that went viral on my Instagram. I mean, he comes in with that deer, and it's a 217, dude. It's big, typical mainframe. Just did some quick photo shoots on that. Long story short, it's getting late. I told him to come back the next day because I couldn't do it. Come back the next day. It started getting dark. I started getting busy. I called him up. Said, I just can't do it. He's just like, his heart's broken. I'll just bring it over. We'll do it real quick. And so anyway, I'm glad I did. We set it up. A procedure. This one here. Oh, this is Travis C. This is another Shelby. Look at talk about brow tines. Check that dude out. This is my last post on my Instagram too. I did a floor pedestal on it. Fantastic. That's a 201, typical gross.
Yeah.
201.
What's your last picture?
Matt Grossell. He's on the cover of one of these magazines.
Yes, he is.
Just a 210. I mean, you get a 210 and you do.
Where's he from?
He is from. I had deer come out of Marion County.
Marion County.
Yeah, I think he lives in Bell Fountain.
That's right, Marion County.
And that was a cover of North American Whitetail. I'd love calling these guys up and say, "Hey, man, guess what?" And I just tell them the good news.
They get stoked, pumped.
Who wouldn't get stoked?
Oh God, I'd be over the moon.
Come on,
over the moon.
It ain't gonna happen again.
No.
And you're on the cover of the magazine, and he goes, "Rick, I can't believe I was in Walmart, and there's my picture."
That's awesome. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, and then another one, Ryan Deach, he travels the world. He travels all that time, traveling over the country. He says, "I'm in some airport somewhere in freaking Texas or something."
Right.
He goes to the newsstand, and there he is.
That's awesome.
And he goes, "God, I can't believe it."
It's unbelievable.
So yeah, but Matt Grossell, those antlers, talk about just the look of those things. This is how I look at it. Instead of just
We're super.
it looks like Da Vinci swooped down from heaven with a paintbrush and a palette and painted those antlers. They're so gorgeous. And then the beating and the texture of those.
Beating, that's what I was
The beating.
The beating is unreal.
Just doesn't show up on a score sheet. So
Right.
cares about the score. I've had guys come in and held 240s and 50s, and then they come in and hold that's the most beautiful set of antlers I've ever seen.
Rick, what are you more proud of? Are you more proud of your photography work, or are you more proud of
I've
your?
been doing taxidermy. I've been doing this now for over 20 years, as far as the photography stuff goes.
But what are you more proud of? Your
I
taxidermy.
get more of a thrill when I call a guy up and say, "Hey, we're on the cover of North American Whitetail. We're on the cover of Buckmasters."
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it just means something to me. It don't mean anything to anybody else, but I take a lot.
awesome.
That's just cool.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then
Grab. There's
where's
yep,
the
right
other?
here, right here to your left. Yeah, we got one more, two more. We got two more. So let's turn this one.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one,
is
isn't
that a good one?
it? Yeah, golly, look how young that guy
How's
is.
that look, Chris?
The lights are kind of in that.
They're glaring it a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of gonna have to go.
What do we here? Show it from
Go
the
main.
front.
Yep, there we go,
show it
main.
from the front.
Yep, there we go.
Does it look good?
Yes.
That's one of them little ones that Joel had to settle for.
Yeah.
So this was on the cover of what?
A Real Tree DVD cover.
Yeah.
With Joel. That's when Joel was famous. Whatever happened to that guy? But
You're not famous anymore, Joel.
Golly, look at that stuff.
yeah, I mean that's cool as hell for me.
Young guy right there.
Yeah, we were both a little younger back
We
then.
were.
But I remember taking it up on my belly and shouting, "Hey,
Yeah.
Joel, man!" Click, 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 click. It's just a thrill.
That
it's
buck.
a thrill.
That buck was taken in what year? Do you remember off the top of your head? I want to
I'll
say
tell you if you forget, I'll tell you.
I want to say 2013.
Nope,
14.
nope.
10.
You're closer.
11.
That was the same year Brian Stevens killed his deer.
That's right.
09.
09.
09.
That's right. That was 09.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Brian sent me a picture of multiple deer he was driving to the
Was that 200? That was right at 200.
yeah, right at 200.
Yeah.
I remember.
That was the year I had 7 deer in that year that was over 200.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and a lot of them were Boone and Crockett deer, and they were deer that they just made it. They blew it away.
yeah.
I mean, they're way in there, you know.
Right.
There were
it's just
years you had like unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I
I remember in 07 one time in my driveway, there's 6 deer. November the 8th, I remember the year 07. There's 8 deer in my driveway. The smallest one was 160, and 2 of them were over 200.
I
I remember that day,
November the 8th.
November the 8th.
I
What
remember.
year? 2007, roughly.
7, I think, something like that. Where they come from? Because I was doing taxidermy for 10 or 12 years before I even saw a booner in the door. That's the truth.
No shit.
Yes, and you get one to go push 170, you're going, holy shit, it's crazy.
And then all of a sudden, now they're coming out of the woodwork.
Well,
to
I
you.
wouldn't say they're coming out of the woodwork. You know, you come in my
But, I
shop
mean,
and you think they're behind every tree. They're
Yeah,
not. But
They're not.
they're hard to,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you, they're hard to get. You think you're going to come to a high and just shoot a 170 or 80. Come on. You got to be real. If Joel can consistently show people 150 class buck,
That's what you're
Yeah.
after.
Oh yeah.
I
I mean,
Hell
I told
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I told you 2 out of 100.
2 out of 100
In
are
a typical
booners.
Midwest herd, 2 out of 100 are booners.
right. And it's just, it's so
2
hard.
out of 100.
When you think about it, Ohio will kill, this is an amazing fact, Ohio will kill roughly 40,000 deer this upcoming season. Okay, that'll be their harvest number.
Yep.
Over 50% of them were just born this spring.
Really?
Yeah.
When you think about that, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, not so much around here. You go southeast and
Yeah.
east,
Just brown it's down.
50%.
we're just born. They're fawns. We don't call them fawns. We call them deer because we think fawns are little
yearlings.
spots.
Yearlings.
No, they're not yearlings.
Or
They're still
they're-
considered
yeah.
fawns. A yearling is a 1.5-year-old deer. That's what we call
Gotcha.
yearlings. And get this, 70% of all male deer, bucks, don't see their second birthday.
It's unbelievable.
70%.
They will not see their second birthday.
It's unbelievable.
So how are there any left? Yesterday, I'm on my way to my walk in the morning, 6:45 in the morning. I just missed. They bolted out in front of me, Joel. I'm not kidding you, Tori. I had to slam on my brakes and swerve. 2 big bucks, 150 plus class bucks, running side by side. If I'd have hit one of them, I'd have hit them both because they were that close. And I swerved and I did this. I'm going to hit them. And it was 5 feet out in front of my car, my truck.
Yeah.
I said, it was close, buddy, but I
you
seen
imagine?
the
Yeah.
racks.
Rick doubled
Total
up.
your truck and 2 150 pluses.
So I gotta
You would
tell
need therapy over that.
Oh my God! Thank God I didn't. Oh my God!
the reason why I was guessing the year is because it was the year after I met Joel that he killed that buck. It was the only hunting DVD I've ever went out and bought because you were on the cover. I had met you and I went out and bought the DVD and watched it like 10 times because I'd like show my friends your hunt on that DVD.
Yeah.
Like I know Joel. That was, I mean, for me, like a kid that was hunting, it was like it was the coolest thing to be like, that guy lives down the road. I know him, whatever. I thought that was awesome. So I went out and bought that DVD.
Yeah.
But
Have him sign it.
no, I didn't have him sign. I probably was too embarrassed to tell him I went out and bought it. I don't know. But
Hey, best wishes, Corey.
yeah.
It's been fun again.
Yeah. Great episode, everybody.
Was it,
It
fun?
was. Yes, man. I had a lot
Yeah,
of
it was
fun.
great.
I like talking. Yeah, I'm yakking too much.
No, you did
No,
great.
It's been great.
You did
It's
awesome.
been awesome.
Okay.
Love to have you on,
Appreciate
Rick.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right.
We just go in and go with it, man.
Yeah, just roll with it.
Roll with it.
I mean, that was probably how long was that, Chris?
2 hours and 44 minutes.
That's a long one.
That's not going to be on now. You're not going.
It'll be 2 hours and probably 20 minutes. It'll be 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Hey,
People will eat
and
it
you're
up,
like-
Rick.
And you're
So
like
when-
30 days away from deer coming in the door.
Oh,
Don't say that. Don't you dare say that. Them's fighting words. Now I'll be driving home all depressed.
Sorry.
I got it. Something's going to happen this year. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but it's just I'm
Something's
so
gotta
backed
give.
up. I'm just backed up, brother. I just hate. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll go day by day.
Well, hey,
by
Rick, thank you so much for
Hey.
coming on again.
Appreciate
thank
it,
you,
man.
Rick.
I had a
Thanks,
blast.
Rick. That's
Great
fun.
episode,
I had a
everybody.
blast, man.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
I would have guessed.